This is the home of Alan Robson's Night Owls.
With the voice of the North.
Greatest Hits Radio.
And don't forget, we've still got a competition tonight, and it's another one of those hit links. And we're going to give you 4 clues towards somebody famous, and you're going to work out who is Geet famous as Oot. Okay? That is what you have to do. 4 very good clues, I think, tonight. And if you're a genius, you'll get the answer straight away. But how clever are you? Tonight's is probably the trickiest one I've ever given you. So let's see. Links. You asked for different competitions. This is a very different one. We're running with links for a while. Then we'll give you something else. Tracy in Durham is with us on the line. Let us go and talk to her. Hello, Tracy.
Well, hello there, you sexy beastie.
Oh, I got the chilblains up my leg when you said that. So, how are you doing?
Long time no speak.
I know, welcome back. How are you doing?
Well, I moved down to Durham from Ashgan.
Right.
Because there's lots more prisons down here.
Oh, dear. Right.
Because I got my degree and I decided I wanted to work in a prison.
Right.
Hasn't quite happened yet.
Right, but you're working on it?
Well, I was working on it last year when COVID hit, and then it all went horrendously tits up and I started eating like a pig.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah. I went down to Manchester a couple of times to do the fitness test.
Right.
And all the assessment stuff.
Uh-huh.
Breeze through the assessments and the interviews and the role play and literacy and numeracy test.
Great.
Being a fatty, I failed the fitness test.
Aye.
So I went back again, and I got 3 out of the 4 parts.
Right.
But then Bojo decided to lock her down, and it all went pear-shaped.
So does this mean you're going to have to start from scratch again, if and when?
Yep.
Ah, nightmare.
I'm going to do it.
You do. Make sure you do.
It's the dream. I moved. That's part of the reason I moved down here. I mean, I tell the other half it was because he lived here, but, between us, it was the prison thing.
Right.
But, no, that's all going well. But today, I got the lovely email from NHS Direct to tell me I'm positive.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Do you have any symptoms? Are you feeling okay?
I've got a little bit of a headache. I've got a sore throat. I've got no sense of smell anyway, which is handy because the other half's farts are toxic. But apart from that, I'm quite happily self-isolating in the king-size bed and looking forward to a good night's sleep.
Hurrah! So it's a bit of telly. Mind you, this is not going to do the diet any good if you're getting ready to do the test once everything squares up.
I might give that a breather.
Right.
I need to get a treadmill first before I can crack on properly with that because I'm not the sort of girl who likes wobbly bits on show to everybody and their granny while she runs through the street.
No, I understand that. Hey, but this is always, I always think stuff like this is, how bad do you want it? You really want it bad. You'll make it happen. I'm sure. I've got no doubt.
Well, I'll get there.
I'm sure
I might be 65 in a couple of days from retirement when I get there, but I'll get there.
No, you'll be there a lot earlier than that. But also, what have they said? They've told you that you're positive for the damn thing. Mm-hmm. You've got mild symptoms. You're sounding good, which is great news. Presumably now you can get sympathy where you need it.
No.
Getting fed and watered and looked after.
I'm getting fed and watered. The mister made tea tonight.
Hey.
Steak, potatoes and cauliflower cheese.
Oh, that's all right.
That was delish.
Yeah. So, I mean, I would have thought he would be standing next to the bed with a large...
he's got to self-isolate.
What, away from you?
Yep. Well, that's how we're doing it anyway.
You're just using that as an ex. Get out of this bed. Don't you touch me. I'm positive now. Away. Save yourself.
He said I can have the big bed and he's sleeping in the spare room. So I'm just doing as I'm told for a change.
Give over. You've got away with this. Look, put that away. Go to the spare room. That's for you.
Bless. But no, he's the hoarder in the house.
Oh, is he? What kind of stuff does he hoard? Apart from love for you.
Oh, pass me a bucket. Anything he can get his hands on. He works in recycling.
Oh, no. That's the worst job for hoarding that.
And he believes in recycling left, right and centre.
Yeah, so
it's fun.
What sort of stuff? I presume this is real tat he brings in, is it?
No, some of it's pretty good, but we only have a four-bedroom house, Alan. And there's very rarely a day goes by when he doesn't bring home some little treasure.
So what is it? You say that he tries to like refurb it and turn it into something wonderful. Where? On the kitchen table? I mean, how does that work?
He's got fishing rods. He's got half a dozen laptops he's managed to rescue, and there's tablets and.
Do any of them work?
Drills. Yeah, he's managed to sort of factory reset stuff and whatnot, but now he's just put them in the cupboard.
Right.
But he says now he has to self-isolate. He's going to crack on and tidy the cupboard.
Oh, hang on a second. Philip's just come on with a message for you. He says, remember to not share bathrooms unless there is a hospital-type wash after every single visit.
Oh, we've got it. We've got hospital-grade sanitizer.
All right, okay. So do you have to rub that on everything?
Well, I'm rubbing it on the bits that are exposed. There's certain bits that will not be exposed, but I'm not rubbing it on them.
No, I was going to say, because I would imagine that's it's like putting deep heat on it, I'd imagine, with that kind of, with the alcohol. I mean.
Yeah. Think putting hand sanitizer on a cut.
No. Because you can always find a cut. If you know what I mean, when especially with hand sanitizer, if you've nicked a finger or you've got like a little whitlow at the side of a nail, you put the sanitizer. You get a bit of that. So you've got him.
Time last week, believe it or not, I was actually at work on a night shift,
right?
And I was accompanied by a book by somebody you may know well.
Oh, who's this?
Apparently, it's a Mr. Alan Robson, MBE, The Life and Loves of a Night Owl.
Oh, blimey, that's an old one, but right. Oh, dear.
Yeah, I didn't get much read. I'm only on to chapter 5, but I'm getting there.
Well, I hope you're liking it anyway. I hope you're enjoying it.
I'm thoroughly enjoying it.
Good.
Out of interest, I actually had a look on Music Magpie to see if it was worth anything. And hey, Alan, you're worth £1.77.
Hurrah! Well, I tell you, it beats the bonus bin.
It's going on the bookshelf. Ask Annie when you're Music Magpie. I'm keeping it. Bless.
That's sweet.
I'm holding things at the minute. I'm literally in the middle of a double king-size bed surrounded by books, magazines, colouring books, cough sweeties.
You got a telly in there as well, I'm presuming?
Oh, yes, I've got the telly.
Super.
I've moved the Fire Stick upstairs so I can watch even more crap because there's nothing on terrestrial telly.
That's a fact.
And I've got all the nibbles I need.
That's brilliant.
All I need now really is Idris Elba naked.
A naked Idris, yeah. There's a few like that. I would like that in their bedroom, that's for sure. I like Idris.
Well, I wouldn't kick him out of bed for farting, put it that way.
No, but then again, you wouldn't know if he did because you can't smell him anyway.
Well, no, this is true.
So how can you tell? I mean, presumably you can hear them.
Oh, you can. When Ross farts, the smell slowly wafts up. I mean, I must admit, I can be bad as well, but I tend to wind him up about it.
Right.
But the toxic smell slowly wafts forward.
The green mist.
Yeah, and he has tried once or twice to stick my head under the duvet after he's done it.
That's just not funny. It's
not really, is it? No.
No longer any funny. Hey, but fantastic to hear from you, Tracy. Thank you very much. Keep me posted and get well soon, or keep it going as long as you can get away with it.
Oh God, yes. The longer the better.
I'm glad.
Retail therapy beckons. Amazon's open 24/7.
Top job. Well, obviously you can get online and order what you like now, and he can't stop you. You can say, "Well, I just wanted to feel better." That's usually that's what they say. Hey,
does that excuse work with bank managers? Because mine hasn't got a sense of humour. He's an utter twunt.
Yeah, but he can't come and get you, can he? Because you're in quarantine. So there you go.
Please himself. I'll breathe on him.
Hey, stay well. Get well as quick as you can, and good luck with that job. Make it happen. Thank you very much, Tracy.
Take care, Alan. Bye.
All the best. Bye-bye. There's Tracy, a night owl who's a bit of a hoarder, but she's got the damn thing. But at least you can tell from what from her demeanour, that this is not anything that's going to be a long-term problem with her. We wish her well. 01914 488 3188. What are you going to talk about tonight? We're off to Wrighton now, apparently, because we have Gina with us. Hello, Gina.
Hello.
Hello there. What can we do for you tonight, Gina?
Right. You know, it would possibly be like 2 in July.
Right,
Right, I've got his Ashley Spoon's place, right? I didn't ask for bed. Picked up off the wall.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I had to get a new bed. You didn't have to get me bed, new bed. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
I was like, bring him back.
Right.
Memories all the time.
All the time?
I've changed all my horses and all that, but since when I got to bed, I can't sleep.
No. So why won't she do what she's told then? Has she always been like this?
No, I've seen my husband pass away.
Oh, she's passed away?
My husband.
Oh, the husband's passed away.
Aye.
Right.
My hubby.
Yes. Sorry to hear it.
I've just changed my bed and everything, changed all the rooms and whatever.
Right.
And I just can't sleep on this time.
Well, is this because you were so used to having the bed in a different place and you were with him, or?
I with him, and I'm not.
So you've not slept for 2 years?
Well, I have a sleep, but I'm like up half the night.
Right.
I can't like get a full sleep.
Would it work if you put everything back to where you had it comfortably or not?
I've still got the bed sitting way around.
Right. Because just sometimes it is something as simple as that. If you've got really good sleep in one situation and then you change the bed around and you can't sleep at all, take it back. It doesn't make any, in the great scheme of things, it's just the way you've got the bedroom and you can have it any way you want, can't you?
Aye.
That's the thing. Anything else while you're on then, Gina?
No, that's it.
Okay, well, thank you for coming on. She's had a bit of a job sleeping since losing her husband a couple of years ago. 2 years of sleepless nights, so blimey, that would make you old very, very quickly, wouldn't it? 0191 488 3188. If you've got any tips, please share them and we'll announce it. 0191 488 3188. And emails come in from Adam, who's in Langley Park, and referring to the racism situation with Marcus Rashford. I honestly can't understand how anybody can be racist in this day and age. The information's all there. Do we not all know that we live on the same speck of dust, barreling through space at untold miles an hour, 68,000 just around our own sun, and how fast does the sun orbit the galaxy? And how fast does the galaxy bomb through space? And any of us would die instantly if we stepped off our little speck without the protection of equipment the entire human race spent decades developing. Best wishes to all the night owls. Thank you, Adam. Well, there you go. I totally agree. I don't see how people should be racist in any shape or form because we're all from the same root. Whether you like it or not, that happens to be a fact. We've got Dot in Beacon Loft. Hello, Dot.
Hello.
Hello, darling. How you doing?
I couldn't believe it last week. Looking on Facebook and seeing someone had put they're watching Night Owls, and I went, Night Owls?
Yeah.
I went, what's going on here? I've been looking at his music, not
Right.
greatest. So I've asked this lad, and he went, no. He's on a Sunday. I was devastated.
Well, it's good to have you back anyway. That's
I
great.
know. How are you?
I'm very well. Thank you
Good.
very much
Are
for
you?
coming on. So how have you been?
Not too bad. Last year I was in the hospital a couple of times.
Right.
But my brother's and sister-in-law's got a coronavirus now.
Oh, blame me.
But they're fitting well. They've had like a high temperature and that.
All right.
But she works in a care home, you see, so
Gotta be
caught it.
super careful.
Yeah.
Understandable.
Yeah.
But they're both fine. That's the main thing.
Oh, yeah. Know about, do you know the Ashes?
Yes,
My sister-in-law's dad had died, and us all knew that a mum had a new boyfriend anyway, everybody knew.
Right.
And she went into surprise with this in, with the Ashes and that in. And she thought, wait, is she? So she went upstairs and she was in bed
with a fancy
boyfriend.
Man. Oh.
She started hiding the ashes on them. They were screaming hysterical.
What?
She started hiding the ashes on them. So she covered our house.
So, I mean, hang on, the mother's having sex with a fancy man.
Mm-hmm. And she went
Dad's
in with
just died, so you might as well hide Dad on his old bed at the same time. That's a threesome. There's a threesome right there. Unbelievable.
And she had getting all this right and put on this in and everything. But everybody knew. I don't know how she never knew, but everybody on the estate knew.
Right.
But so she hid.
So did Dad know before he went?
I think so. I'm not sure because there was rumours that they used to have parties you know what I mean? So I think they were both
Oh, a bit swingy.
like, yeah. I think I went to that.
Oh, I've
So,
never been into the swingy thing ever. Because
No.
it's like, here's a woman that I've persuaded to fall in love with me. Why don't you borrow her for tonight? And I'll borrow you. Just. First of all, most women would not even think of, a different Willie. Yes, tonight will do. No.
No, it's wrong, isn't it? Totally wrong.
No. If you love somebody, you want them for
Oh,
yourself,
no,
don't you?
I know.
That's the thing.
My son graduated last year as well, so he couldn't have a party. So he's teaching. He got a job straight away.
Oh, fantastic.
So in like a approved school, it's like for kids who don't want to. He teaches in between 14 and 16.
How's he getting on there? Because I would imagine that's a tough shift.
Can you remember I sent a picture when he was running? He was in Newcastle dressed as Hulk Hogan.
Yes,
I
absolutely.
said, it's him.
Fantastic.
He's a lot bigger now, like.
I was going to say, well, you probably need to be Hulk Hogan where he is.
He is. He's huge now,
Right.
But he's like sports teacher and he can speak Spanish. You know, he's good at Spanish, so he's been teaching them Spanish, and he's got them a football team and that. They're in a football team now.
Has he turned green yet? Has he turned green yet with anger?
No. Oh, wait. the first day, because my other son went, oh, my God, could you imagine, like, kids that age?
Oh, absolutely.
And then when he come in, and he went, oh, my God, he says, one of them kicked the fire exit door, and the first day he kicked the fire exit door, and he was away. And he says, oh, my God. So the teacher says, well, you slept. They caught him on low fell.
Right.
He says, puffing away on his tab. He says, I want to get in the car. So they took him back to school. But he says he likes a challenge. So the following day, he come back and they went, oh, you back? And he said, I told you I'm not going anywhere. The other teacher, they went, she's left. And he says, well, I'm not leaving. I'm not going anywhere. But the next day, he says, hey, honestly, walk themselves. And then the next day, they went, oh, you back?
No, but you see, they presumably kick off with a brand new teacher to try and intimidate them out of there.
But the thing to them now, they're really,
Good.
really. I think it's because he's in his 20s, you see, so he's a young, like a young teacher, because he understands, he's on the same wavelength, like he can understand what them are like. But he's singing, because sometimes been singing from home, so they've got all like the laptops at home and all these kids. So last week,
but are they their laptops?
No, the school thingies.
Oh, the school.
He turned around and he says, oh my God, he says, what's that smelling here? And they were laughing, the kids on the second day. And he says it was a skunk, but the smoke.
Right.
And he went, you get a shower and skunk in the mornings. And they were all laughing. And they went, he knows where it is. He went, well, I'm only in my 20s. He says, you all stink of it.
Yeah.
So they got the windows open and that. But he says, freezing cold with the windows open.
Yeah.
He says, but they're getting thingy to them.
Right.
So,
I think it's just, if you talk about him liking a challenge, if you can turn some of those kids around, that's a real good job done, isn't it?
That's it. They're like, because he says we've never done sports before, so he's got them like in a team and that. But I was in the next room and I could hear him last week. And I heard him saying, said the lad's name, he went, get the cigarette away because all of the teachers can see, like that all. He says, and then one of them was opening a can of Fosters. He says, get the Fosters put back in the fridge. I was killing myself laughing, could hear him saying, put the Fosters back in the fridge. And he went, how I say, man? He says, no, get them back in the fridge. But I says, I'll tell Alan.
Isn't it? Hey, but that's right. Give him my regards, because
I will.
It's one of the things that I did an awful lot of, visiting like schools of that sort, a couple of the remand centres up in Northumberland we've done regular visits to. And if you can turn one of them away, it's just better for all of us if you think about it.
Yeah.
I know. Love to him, and thank you for coming back then, Dot.
I know I'll be back for good.
Top story though, that one about sending Dad's ashes in bed with a fancy man.
God,
that's a classic.
She was screaming and raving when she come to our house. She's kind of about everything and that. Made me mad look, you know that.
You got a sneaky suspicion, mind, that Dad probably got hoovered.
Definitely. Definitely.
I think so.
Got ahead.
Because I cannot see them taking the Hoover bag up to a mountain and sending it off romantically in the wind. I think that one went in the bin. But hey, Dot, lovely hearing from you. Thanks for coming on, love.
No bother. See you later.
Love you, darling. There you go. She's great. Been with us so long. She's just found us again. Tremendous. Right, let's go and talk to David, who is in Whitley Bay. Hello, David.
Hi, Alan. How are you?
I'm good, man. Thanks for calling. What can we do for you?
I just wanted to talk about a charity single I've been involved in.
Oh, go on in. What is it?
Myself and a few friends decided to record some songs over lockdown for various projects, but we decided to do something different with this one that we've just done, and it's a version of Pink Floyd's "Wish You Were Here."
Oh, classic.
The reason that we chose it is obviously the poignancy of wishing people were here during the times of restricted movements and what have you.
Sure. That's what a great idea, because that Floyd song's never been a hit or anything, has it? It's always been like a classic album try.
Yeah. I mean, what we decided to do was initially just do it as a four-piece and just do it quite simply as an arrangement.
Right.
We decided to push it a bit further and work for a charity.
Right.
And then to make it stand out slightly differently, I came up with a stupid idea of involving as many vocalists as we possibly could.
Right.
To give it some gravitas and give it some weight behind the message.
Right.
And I set myself the crazy target of 100 vocalists.
Oh, my goodness.
To record the chorus. Thankfully, we ended up with the target and we got 113 from all over the world.
What?
113 individual vocalists on the track. The project's called 100 Voices.
Right.
113 doesn't really have the ring.
No, you're 100 Voices does work, right?
Yeah. And it turned out really well. We launched it last Sunday night on YouTube, and it's had 38,000 views.
Oh, that's great. That's a good, healthy start right there. So it's "Wish You Were Here." What's the name of the 100 Voices is the title, is it?
100 Voices is
Gotcha. Is the band.
The project, yeah.
Right.
And it's "Wish You Were Here." And there's a GoFundMe page because we're raising money for 4 charities.
Right.
Initially, it was for the Help Musicians, which is the old musicians benevolent
Fun.
because they were giving out COVID grants for musicians and crews.
Right.
But then when we discussed it with the band and increased the amount of people involved, we thought, why not throw it out to a few more charities which are pertinent to the lockdown? So we went for the people most affected by it. So we've gone for the NHS Together charity, Musicians Benevolent Fund, Age Concern, and Mind. Right,
they're great causes. Can't knock them. And let's face it, all the charities have been hit massively, like all musicians have. So it all kind of works. And it's a great song anyway, "Wish You Were Here." It is a classic. If people haven't heard it, it's one of those songs that they really should. It stays with you as well. And I've never ever heard it sung by 113 vocalists before. So after the show, I'm going to go on and have a look at that. It's on YouTube. 100 Voices, "Wish You Were Here." And knock those numbers through the ceiling, everybody, and have a glance. Thank you very much for coming on then, David. Appreciate it.
Thanks for your time, Alan.
Thanks for sharing, man. There you go. Wish you were great. So, see, this is another thing about stuff. Have you got loads of old albums? Have you got a collection of videos or DVDs? Have you still got your old vinyl, your 7-inch singles? Have you got old books? Have you keep all of your comics from when you were a kid? And your Beano and Dandy annuals? Some of them can be worth an awful lot of money now. And also, Joyce sent an email in. Let me just share it with you. Joyce says, "Alan, you told me to go looking at what tat I had. There's a mouse in my spare room, and now I'm terrified. I've locked the door, but I'm sure it could get out if it wants to." The thing about mice is they can flatten themselves. Here's a call about a moose in a house. You've got that mouse behind your fridge now, probably gnawing on a bit of cheese that you've just dropped down. And when you're doing your hoovering and stuff, you push a little scrap of food under the fridge. So the mouse there's sitting kind of going, Having a thoroughly nice night. The thing they don't tell you about mice is they're amazing and they can flatten their body so flat it can get under a skirting board, under a door. It can climb up the bedding of a duvet.
I know, because I used to live on a farm and they used to be in the bed.
In the beds, up the leg of your drawers. Oh, they could be anywhere.
Oh.
Can you feel one nibbling at your toes?
No, there's nothing in the bed. I've got the blankets tucked in.
I know it's a cold night and they always end up going for the warmest place.
Oh, dear.
You know where that is?
So there's two pussies downstairs. Better look after it.
There's a moose loose in the hoose. Q for Hootsmon by Lord Rockingham. Anyway, I have a quick break coming up, but before that, we're Greatest Hits Northeast. We got to hit you with another greatest hit. So I thought before that, let's talk to the band In Excess, and then we'll share with you one of their absolute classics. We asked them about spooky things.
I have had experience with ghosts, yes.
What happened?
A house that I've had quite a few actually, but this one was particularly moving. This house I had, I turned this what's called a duplex. It's like a top floor and bottom floor, two separate flats. And I turned it into a big mansion years ago. And anyway, soon after we'd moved in, I'd hear this clunk every night and go down in the morning, and these big, heavy single-seat chairs that we had in the living room, one of them had been picked up and turned to face the view every night. And we'd turn it round, and sure enough, get up in the morning, and some nights if I was awake, I'd hear the clunk downstairs and go, wouldn't go down. Eventually, my partner at the time said, go down and see what's going on. And so I nervously fumbled for a torch and went down, and sure enough, the chair had turned around. And believe it or not, I got a friend of mine knew someone who channeled ghosts and things, and they came and called the ghosts in, and it was actually the two old ladies that I bought the place off had died 6 months after I'd bought it, and it took me 2 years to get the house built. And she was really pissed off because we'd stuffed up the garden, hadn't done anything with the garden, and she used to sit down in her chair and watch the view every day, and that was her. And they sent her off to the light, and it never happened again.
Yeah. I'm a working exorcist. Actually, I'm an exorcist.
Are you?
So those kind of
so
things.
You're aware of it.
90%
Can you kill me? Because I'm really sick at the moment. No, I mean that. And could be something more.
I think
than
you've
just...
had too many spirits in you. I think that's probably the problem.
The other spirits.
Yeah. But the reality is 90% of stuff's bunkum.
Yeah, absolutely.
But the 10% that isn't really kind of
really full on, yeah.
He urged people to remain positive in difficult times.
Please do remember that things will get better. The sun will shine and we'll never walk alone. I believe that to be true.
The UK has given a record number of coronavirus vaccinations in a single day. Around 600,000 people received their first dose of the jab yesterday, taking the total to almost 9 million. Despite that, scientists say social distancing measures may have to stick around for the rest of the year. A group of them have urged the government not to ease restrictions too far, too fast, until we know how effective jabs are at stopping transmission. Police in Russia have arrested more than 5,000 people during protests across the country in support of the detained Kremlin critic Alexei Navalny. The Foreign Secretary Dominic Raab says the UK condemns the action and has urged Moscow to release him. In sports, Liverpool manager Jurgen Klopp is glad his side are finding their form again. A 3-1 win at West Ham has taken the champions up to third in the Premier League. After a difficult few weeks, Klopp says his message is getting through to his players.
We spoke a lot in the last few weeks, you can imagine, and maybe in the last week we spoke the right stuff. Maybe that was it.
Leeds came from behind to get a 3-1 victory at Leicester after a 2-0 win for Chelsea over Burnley gave Thomas Tuchel his first 3 points since taking charge. And Brighton have their first home win in the top flight this season in beating Tottenham 1-0. The result sees Graham Potter's men climb 7 points clear of the bottom 3. From Sky News, I'm Annie Green.
Thanks, Annie. Alan Robson with your Greatest Hits Radio Northeast. Thanks for joining us. Spread the word, share it to everybody, and make sure we can gather the clans so we can grow and grow and grow. Now, Jason sent a couple of gags saying, he says, my wife left me because of my obsession with pasta, I'm feeling cannelloni now, which is brilliant. And Paul chipped straight in saying, I had a car made of spaghetti. My girlfriend thought I was kidding till I drove pasta. Also, Anne thought yesterday was Sunday and switched the radio on, was shocked. Oh, Alan must be having the night off. And then realised, it's a Saturday, and she was really disappointed. Have you not found that too? Unless you're still working, and there's so many people on furlough or just not anymore, days just roll into days, and you've got to think, what day is it today? And all my life, I've always known not just what day it is, what time it was, what time I had to do with something. It's just weird. It is a weird time. And also, got to give a special mention to Gary, who's just sent an email in. He's in Kharkov in the Ukraine. I think he's going to come on as well, which would be brilliant. Find out what's gen doing. Tune in Kharkov. Why not? I'm surprised that anybody from the northeast managed to stay in Ukraine, because pretty much everything they say ends in off, if you know what I mean. Anyway, let's crack on. We have Louise from Middlesbrough. Hello, Louise.
Hey, you all right?
I'm good, darling. Thank you. What's happening? Something going down here?
It's a strange evening. So I'm with my two mates and we're putting a wardrobe up. And I get a phone call on my new number that nobody has. It's a funeral director talking about, like, Sandra's funeral or something. So I've listened to the voicemail and I've listened to it and I don't make sense of it, so I've showed my friends. Right. And they're like, it's a wind-up, and I've rang this number back on my number that everyone has. Right. And he's genuine. It's a genuine funeral director. He's from Dorset. He's called Matt Lucas. Right. So that, like, threw me a bit. I thought, I have to wind up this.
Yeah, yeah.
No, it's a genuine phone call and he's got the wrong number.
Oh, blimey. So
rest in peace to whoever's funeral it was, like someone called Sandra. So
and he's just left a voice, just left a voicemail on the wrong number.
Yeah. Something to do with the funeral director. I thought it was a wind-up.
So when did this come in? I mean, because it's an odd time of night.
I've only just said it now.
Why would a funeral director leave a message at this?
I think he left it about 6:30, but I've only just listened to it.
Oh, I see. Right, yeah,
a number that I don't really use. It's just my new number, but like I've not like set it up or anything properly. It's just in an old phone.
Is it just for secret lovers?
Mental, like you can't make it up.
Right. Okay. No, I'm just thinking, what's the new telephone? Is it just for secret lovers?
It could be, possibly. No, it's for my new business. No, I'm setting up I've got a new project going.
Ah, fabulous. Well, good luck with that. You know, but it does kind of make you scratch your head when you hear a message like that.
Did that just happen?
Yeah.
We're all so confused.
Yeah. I mean, getting a wrong number, I'm sure a few owls have had those kind of messages, but when it sounds like it's something real super serious...
Yeah, but then it was called Matt Lucas, so I was questioning whether it was a prank call.
Yeah, there's a funeral director called David Williams on the line, and it does kind of screech fake, but you checked him out, and he's for real.
Yeah, he rang me back and he said I'm not the Matt Lucas, so I was a bit devastated. Thought I'd found my claim to fame, but never mind.
So have you got your wardrobe done then yet? Is this one of these?
Yeah, the wardrobe's up. Yeah, I'm just about to put my clothes in. I'm hoping it's not going to fall down. I'm missing a handle. I don't know where the other handle's gone.
So was it one of these like in a box put together jobs? Was it?
It was. I got it from eBay, and to be fair, it's a decent wardrobe because it's not like fabric like the other one. The cat was in that one. It fell down.
Right. So this is like a wood one, so it'll probably stay.
It's a wood one, yeah, and it's got a mirror. It's nice.
Great. Well, I'm glad it's sorted.
Thank you.
I bet your neighbours loved hearing you knocking and banging.
I haven't really used a hammer or anything like that. It's just been pretty simple, to be honest, but I couldn't do it myself. So
does it just clip together then? How's that?
How did it clip together? Or was it screws? I don't know.
Right. Hey, well done anyway. Job well done. And thanks for getting in touch.
Job well done, guys.
No worries. Cheers, Louise.
Cheers.
Thank you. Bye-bye. There is Louise. Just something random that happened tonight. If something random's happened across the week, tell us. Because there's so little happening in most of our homes that we could do with any kind of drama, any kind of adventure at all. We'll do. So give us a call. 0191 488 3188. Had a few bits here. First of all, Kaylee in Lowfell. Alan, my 7-year-old son is listening tonight. Would you please give him a shout-out? His name's Joey Henderson. Thanks very much, and a great show. And apparently, this is a superstar of the future. Joey Henderson. There you go. Kaylee's lad. And Easter's been on and says, "Oi, oi, Savaloy, great to hear Dot is back, but wish you were here, never a hit, 3 question marks. Come on, it's in their best 3 of all time for sure." I agree. It's a top tune. However, it was never a hit. It was a hit album, but not a hit like a chart hit in the singles charts. Anyway, that's what I was meaning. And, hang on, I think that's just, yeah. Can you say hello to Helen Nickod? Nickod. I know she's listening, and I hope she's Helen Nickod, because it could be Helen Nickel, because of the proximity of the D to the L. Anyway, there you go. A couple of quick mentions, and if you've got anybody you want me to give a mention to, happy to do that. Knee Bosch. Just before I dive across to my next caller, who's Rob in Darlington. You know what I was telling you about finding something? Because kids, teenagers especially, go rooting. They're looking for snacks in the kitchen, in all the drawers. They're looking for stuff around the living room. They're looking for anything that they could have. It's just what they like. Sometimes they find things.
Boxes of 12 Durex, 9 were left.
2 boxes of 12 Durex, and there were only 9 condoms left in there. Whose bedroom was it you were in?
Me mum's. And that's not all. There was a whip, nipple cuffs, leather bra and thong, a male's thong, 4 handcuffs and porn.
No. Where did you find them?
In the bottom drawer.
What were you doing in your mum's bottom drawer?
Looking for sweets.
So how do you feel then, knowing that your mum and dad are still a bit frisky together?
It's sick. She's like 37 or something.
Blimey, she should have stopped ages ago, shouldn't she? You don't want to imagine your dad in a thong, do you?
No, not really.
No. Well, there you go. So what did you... When you had a sporch in your partner's drawers, what did you find? 0191 488 3188. Timbo says about that number, if she's got a new number, it's usually recycled from somebody else because they reuse the numbers. I was once chased for debt from somebody else, so they took my new number off their list. There you go. Didn't know that. Anyway, let's go across to Rob, who's in Darlow. Hello, Rob.
I tell you what, I'm too fast for you lot, you know.
Right. How you doing?
I'm all right, fella. Can you hear me, mate?
Of course I can. Everton.
Yeah. Well, let's not even go there, lads, all right?
Not at the moment. They're not having their best run.
Yeah, let's not talk about pussy, all right?
All right. So how's things? Is everything okay, mate?
No, for goodness sake.
No, what's happened?
My uncle Johnny passed away.
I'm sorry to hear it.
Yeah.
What was it?
I can't go see him. It's bollocks. Is that all right? Is that a wrong word? I'm sorry.
That's all right. So what happened?
He's 90 years old, and he tested COVID, and he, you know.
And it took him, did it?
It happened, mate. It happened.
I mean, you mentioned that he was diagnosed with COVID, 90 years of age, so he's slap bang in the middle of the riskiest area.
Do you know what's doing me head now, mate?
What's that?
And I'm in Darlow, right? I'm not in Liverpool. And it's really winding me up because I can't go. I can't.
No.
I'm sorry for getting emotional.
No, he must have been really close to you, your Uncle Tor.
No, John.
Your Uncle John, I beg your pardon. But he must have been really close to you.
Oh, yeah, he was. He was there.
What part did he play in your upbringing then?
Well, he was a blue.
Right.
His dad was never into footy. You know. Yeah, and he took me a good or something when I was like a kid and all that stuff.
Yeah, happy days. Happy days. I'm so sorry. This is screwed. This whole situation has screwed up so many funerals, weddings. Even when people are poorly, you can't go and see them. It's tragic at the moment.
Yeah, but you know what winds me up though, Al?
What's that?
Well, these idiots who just like doing what they're doing. Oh. It's not real. We're all right. It's, you know, when it affects personally, as it has done with me, you know,
it's your heart.
Oh, massively, mate, massively.
No, but the other thing that makes it all the more hard to take is the fact that you feel so helpless. You kind of can't see him while he's still there. Can't see him even after he's gone. You must feel really helpless with it all.
Well, Alan, I'll tell you now, right? My uncle, he lived. Do you know Liverpool?
Yeah.
So you know the Walton area. You know Walton Lane, Walton Road, and all that stuff.
Yeah, lots of long streets.
Yeah. My uncle, he lived off just off Walton Road, and he rang me, and I couldn't go see him. It's horrible.
Because he was reaching out, and you wanted to reach out back, and all you've got's voice. It's not the same.
You know what it is, right? I wish I was back. I wish I was back in Scouts. I wish I was back home because.
Yeah, it would be the time for it. It would be the right time for it.
I know it's not the most responsible thing to do, and I get that totally. But if I wasn't like 250 miles away, I could, you know.
If you were in the vicinity, you would have gone.
Yeah,
I know you would have gone.
Absolutely, Alan. Absolutely, mate.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And there's nobody that can blame you.
I'm in bloody Geordie land. I can't do none.
I mean, as I said, there's not a thing you can do now. I mean, once it's all over and done with, you can go and pay your respect.
Alan, can I say something, mate? Sorry to talk over you, mate.
That's
I know
all right.
you're a DJ.
That's all right. Say what you got to say, mate. No problem.
I wish I could have break the rules. I could have gone down. But he's gone now, hasn't he?
Yeah. He's in a better place, hopefully.
It's shite, mate. So all these little dickheads going out just doing what they're doing. Listen to my voice. I've lost my uncle.
I'm sorry for your loss, man. Truly am.
I'm sorry. This should be bloody, you know.
Hey, it is what it is, and I'm glad that you rang and told me.
Anyway, before you go, let's have a couple of, you know, I know you've got other people on the line and all that.
No problem. No, it's not a panic for you, man. Just take your time.
Do you know what his song was?
What was that?
He was a cheesy sod. He loved cheesy music.
Right. So what was it?
Together in Electric Dreams.
This is really...
I'm not joking. I'm being serious, mate. He loved that track.
I bet they played at his funeral as well.
Oh, mate, that's going to be on. It was. I tell you what it is, mate. It was Electric Dreams. What was the other one? Never Ending Story.
Never Ending Story. There you go. Hey, well, that's all right. Bless him. Let's hope he's starting his own never-ending story right now.
Absolutely, mate.
Be nice to think so. Hey, love to you, man. Stay strong. Thank you for coming on.
I will do me, mate. You all right, though, fella?
You take care. Yes, fine. Hanging on in there like everybody else in their own four walls. So canny and love to you. Thanks for coming on, man.
All right, buddy. All right. Hey, I'll say this before you go, fella.
Yeah.
You deserved to beat us yesterday.
Right. It's about time. We waiting. But thanks for coming on, mate. Take care.
All right, Al.
All the best. Bye-bye. There's Rob from Darlington, who's after Scouse, of course. Now, hang on a second. Just a cotton picking minute there. We got a piece of music due any second, and a quick break. So, but Gary from the Ukraine is on the line, so I'm going to talk to him first. There's going to be a little bit of a delay here, but bear with us. Hello, Gary.
Oh, Bonnie lad, long time no here. What will I? What can I?
My goodness, they don't have talk common in the Ukraine.
Ukraine? All right, how you are? How you doing?
I'm good.
I haven't spoken. Listen, mate. Right? I haven't spoken to you. I heard like a couple of years ago that you finished the program on Metro.
Yeah.
And then it was just after the new year. I was like, put your name in Google, and I'm saying like you've got your in your radio show.
Right.
But I haven't spoken to you since it must be in about late 80s, early 90s.
Good gracious, right?
Aye.
Blimey.
So,
there's some water under that bridge. Hey, but what you doing over
There is,
there?
isn't there?
What you doing over there, Gary?
Well, I met a beautiful girl over here.
Right.
Right. And like, I knew her. We've been together for 8 years. But, right, we had a long distance relationship for 7 years.
Shit.
And I found a way for us to come up. Like, originally she was going to come to Newcastle.
Right.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
And for a bit together. Anyway, due to paraphernalia, etc., like I found a way to come here and still work for my company who I worked for in Newcastle.
Right.
So I work from over here.
Wow.
Basically through the system what we use through the internet.
Uh-huh.
Right. Okay. Working remotely from over here.
Oh, that's
right. I don't want to say where I work out.
No, but it's just incredible that you're able to work remotely from that far away. Tremendous.
Yeah.
That is great.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna. Obviously, I'm not gonna.
No, you don't need any of that. So, what's life like in the Ukraine? Is there a big market in the Ukraine?
It's different. That's like basically, right? I'll be honest with you, I have found it a bit difficult to getting used to the culture and get used to the sort of life over here.
Right.
I used to come over here regularly, but I always went back home. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And obviously, like we got married in 2020, 2019 November. So I came over here for a trial run.
Right.
For like 2.5 weeks work from me working here, and it did. And then I had to get a visa, like a day visa, go back home, go up to Edinburgh. When was it? December 2019.
Uh-huh.
I was home for a month, and then got my visa, my day visa, to come out here.
Right.
And then that lasted till March last year, and then I had to get a temporary permit.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Right.
For like the last year.
Right.
Right. Which wasn't cheap, and then like I've just applied for another temporary permit for this year until next year. But in November, I've got to get a marriage visa, which again isn't cheap. To make is like for us to stay here, indefinitely, really. So I can come and go. I think it'd be,
Right.
But it's all paraphernalia, but it's worth it at the end of the day, like, But it is cool. I'll tell you something, right? Last week it was -18.
Oh.
Right. We're just getting rid of some snow. It was -18 last week. Like, it was cool. But like I'm out the house for like 7 o'clock in the morning, going for walks and stuff like that.
Brilliant.
And it's great.
Nice.
But it is cool.
No, I remember we
like,
did a few shows from Estonia, which is not too far away from where you are, and the sea had frozen.
Yeah.
So I can understand how cool it gets.
Yeah, that's right. Aye.
It's incredible. Hey, well, lovely catching up, Gary. You're in there.
Can you remember, just before you go, right? Can you remember me and my mate when he worked for the other radio station, Metro, right? I tried already again. I tried to do like a bit of a live aid thing back in the day, about 84, right?
Uh-huh.
Couldn't. So Newcastle United as a sign of football. And me and my mate come to the Metro studios one night with we donated the ball to the charity for. Can you remember the veteran charities? What they used to do?
Yes, absolutely. It was called the Pop Fund at the time.
Can you remember?
And you donated the football to them.
That's right.
They auctioned it off. That was brilliant.
Aye, that's right. Can you remember?
Yeah, of course I can.
Aye, I can remember. Aye,
How good was that? Tremendous.
Aye,
Hey, well, lovely to
indeed.
hear from you, Gary. Thank you so much for coming on. I am very conscious that you've called us, and it's a hell of a long way. I don't want you to have too big a bill, but lovely catching up with you. Thanks for coming on, man.
Right, I know.
All
No
the
problem.
best.
No
Thanks.
problem. Well, you take care all the very best, and I wish you well. Okay?
I wish you well too. Thank you. So there you go. The official call sign as well. What a lovely fella. Bit of a delay, so apologies for that, but just great to hear from the guy. We got a quick break coming. In fact, it's coming right now. We'll be back on end of this. For the music. And Dave is with us. And he is in Exeter. Hello, Dave.
Hello there. How are you doing?
I'm good, mate. Good to hear from you down there in the bit that sticks out.
I know. I spoke to you about 4 years ago. It feels like an eternity. I should have rang in the meantime, but you're well loved, you know, Alan. We all love you.
Bless you. Thank you very much. So what are you calling about then?
Well, you mentioned something about hoarding, and I thought, well, I've probably... I'm guilty, you know.
What is your charge? What's the charge against you then? What do you collect?
My life is music. I'm a musician. I'm a music teacher, and I've made music myself. And I've collected music since I was very young. I'm 54 years old.
Right.
So I've got quite a sizable record collection. And one of the things I wanted to because it's quite distinctive what I've done, is that, you know how most people have most people, if they've got a record collection, they'll arrange it in a with all the spines on shows. You got to crane your neck to see what you want to put on.
Absolutely. Sideways, yes.
Yeah. Well, I got sick of that, and I thought, do you know, I want to go back to the experience of going into a record shop. You know, when you go into a record shop and you'd see all the racks with all the records facing it, and all the dividers telling you what bands and artists were. Yeah. So I've got 4 racks of records, like a record shop, in my living room.
Are you married or recently divorced?
I knew we'd go there. No woman would put up with this.
No.
No.
Not for a second.
No, I'm defiantly single.
Hey!
So yeah. So I, you know, records is a passion, you know, and I go back to the days when, you know, when we were kids, we would go into Newcastle and we'd go to Pet Sounds, the record shop, Pet Sounds. Brilliant. And there was another one, Record Box, all the second-hand records there, you know.
Yeah, the thing about it, well, and if you, for the people who've never done the vinyl thing, and I know even some supermarkets now sell vinyl, which I never ever thought I would see again in my lifetime. However, in the olden days, when you had hundreds of those boxes like you've got in your living room, up and down shops in HMV.
That's right.
Woolworths even had them. And you would stand there. There was 2 things. You would have the records, and then you'd have a flick of posters. You know, the posters of the various celebs and film stars and stuff. Sure. And you'd go through the record. You'd go through the records first, then you'd have a flick, stopping usually at Farrah Fawcett Majors and Pamela Anderson, and then flicking on to Black Sabbath and Led Zeppelin and all of that. But when you were looking at the vinyl, first of all, and this is for the CD generation, because obviously CDs have bitten the dust a bit too. Ooh, but for the generation, we had to, or at least I did, because I was as much an anorak as you.
Sure.
And when the vinyl bit the dust, I'd just built up a really substantial collection where I thought I had pretty much everything I wanted, which is an amazing place to be, purely because I worked on the wireless and I could get more free. Yeah. But so I'd built up this big collection, and then all of a sudden you had to go and buy it again on CD. What a dirty, filthy trick that was. But the difference between the two for me, if you picked up an album, a vinyl album, it was a piece of art. Yeah. You could read everything that was written on the inside without using a huge magnifying glass like you do on a piece of CD. And you could, you know, when you talk about the racks might look ugly, but I bet the albums look tremendous.
Oh no, the racks are gorgeous. It's like a lovely bright pine colour. So it's pretty. It is pretty.
It's a pretty rare. So do you say to women in pubs, do you want to come home and look at me rack?
They all think I'm crazy anyway, so it's just part of the deal, you know.
So presumably you've got a CD player.
Oh yeah, I've got all my CDs as well. But I want to join in with your thing about during the 90s when they bit the dust.
Yeah.
Everybody was chucking their records away. Well, guess who went to all the Callouts sales and came back with armfuls of them?
I bet.
I was in absolute heaven. So I was there at 6:30 in the morning with my fingerless gloves and a torch, going through people's boxes, and I was picking out Stones, Zeppelin, The Who, Zappa, Rush, you know, and I was thinking, how much? You know, £3? Yeah, I'll have it. You know, and of course now they're worth money.
Absolutely.
Well, not the Rush albums, but you know what I mean.
No, but in general, because I remember going to shops back in the day, and if I wanted to sell some, they'd say, "Well, you give us the 50, and I'll give you £2.90 or something."
You'd take a pile of records,
really,
would be deep on the counter, and you'd get
and you'd get coppers. But now you quite, especially some of the rare ones, but they have to be super rare to be really valuable.
That's true.
But the bottom line is, you love the stuff and you love vinyl, and I bet you'll still have a gramophone.
The big argument for me, I've got a Technics SL12.
Beautiful,
but
beautiful.
Nerd alert.
No, I've been a Technics guy all my life too.
Yeah, you know the score. And the point is that with vinyl, like you say, it's an experience. You pick up the thing and you look at it and you read it. It pins you to the sofa to listen. Mm-hmm. Whereas with streaming or a CD, maybe CD you'd sit down and listen, but vinyl, you sit there because of the whole experience of handling it and putting it on and then sitting down, then you've got to stick around to turn it over. It pins you to the spot to listen and have the experience, which you don't have with streaming. I'm sorry, but it just doesn't happen. Don't get me wrong, I wore my Walkman in the 80s, you know, and all that, and went on bus journeys with it, and it was great, but the whole thing of, you know, on a Sunday afternoon just walking over and thinking, I fancy listening to some Joni Mitchell, and you just flick through like I'm doing right now.
Brilliant.
I think I'll stick on For the Roses, and you sit and listen. It pins you to the spot, vinyl.
Absolutely. And the thing, I have many a memory of, you hear that an album's going to come out, and it's not like, well, I put my order in on eBay and it arrived on the same day that, no, you heard when it was going to be released. You made a plan. Oh, hang on. I'm at school or I'm at work that day, and you think, but I've got to get into town because that's the day. I'll play the wag. And then you nipped into town. And quite often you'd have to queue because other people had heard that. And I mean, I'm not talking about like massive hit albums. This is even for stuff like a bizarre T-Rex's Electric Warrior. When it came out, there was a huge queue, and I had to stand in the queue. But then you'd get it home, and you'd listen to side one, but you weren't watching the telly while it was on. You weren't reading a book. You were sitting there, literally soaking it in. You were reading the lyrics on the album cover. You were seeing who's playing, who's on the bass, who's on the drums. Still know the answer.
And the excitement of making the journey home, holding the thing in the bag,
not being able to contain yourself with. I can't wait
to get home. I know. You see, now some people would say, "Oh no, I can't be bothered with that, and we can have it now." But that was an experience. And life is about experience.
But it was part of the thing. And then the thing that always happened with me and my mates, and they weren't all anoraks. Some of them were, you know, heads down football, and that was their way. But they'd say, I heard you just got the new album by Pink Floyd, Led Zeppelin, Deep Purple, whoever it was. Can I come and have a listen to it? And then you were sort of, I am king, and I have this music to entertain you. And they'd sit there and there'd be no chat until it got to the end of the track, and they'd say, "Oh, that was wonderful." Or,
That's right.
They would never say it was wonderful. They'd say it was flipping great, and stuff like that.
There's a little story that I must tell because I broke the law, you know. What I used to do, now you couldn't do this now with all the barcodes and that, but when we're in a record shop and I'd come across an album and I'd see the price and I'd go, I can't afford that.
Right.
I would go to another rack and pick up a Booker T and the MG's album, which might be £2.50. and I'd scratch the price tag off with my finger.
Right.
Right, and then stick that one down, and then go to the other rack.
Yeah.
Well, do I need to tell the rest?
You're going to hell, Dave. You're going to hell.
I'm going to hell. We did that a lot, and the buzz of leaving the shop thinking, woohoo, I've just bought Let It Bleed for only £2.50. So, I mean, you know, all those little things are just, they mount up as experiences. And then, you know, it's listening to the thing. I mean, hey, I also want to say, I know I've been on quite a while, but it's not just records for me, it's movies. And I've got to tell you, I've got 5 shelves just full of movies, right through from Laurel and Hardy, right through Fred Astaire. I've got a complete Python shelf with all the books, TV programs, records, and then I got all the Hollywood films, got all my comedy, and then I got world cinema like Fellini and Bergman and Tarkovsky. And then I've got a bookcase full of Beatles stuff because I'm a complete Beatles nut.
Do you know, we could be absolutely the same person, which is quite freaky because all of the stuff that you've mentioned are things that I just like, but they're without it. Just for the sake of argument, I'm going to anorak you now and see if you can anorak me back. There was an album produced some years ago that they made a film of called All This and World War II.
Oh.
And it was the Bee Gees made it.
Yes.
They produced it.
Right.
And it's full of Leo Sayers on there, David Essex is on there, the Bee Gees, Status Quo, loads of celebs singing Beatles songs.
Oh, yeah.
And they're all Beatles songs.
Right.
And they used the Beatles songs sung by all of these other stars as the soundtrack to this film. All this, and it's old World War II footage.
Right.
And I used to have the vinyl years ago, and my wife bought it for me on CD.
Right.
Just purely and simply because I've got a vinyl player, but it's not great, and I wanted to hear it crystal again because it's a very, very old crackly album because it's been overplayed, and it was one of the best presents that she could possibly have bought. When I saw it, it was like, I have been given the Holy Grail. It was that, but that's what it means if you're into your music. I'm sure there's people out there saying, that's just how I felt when I got my whatever it was.
I hope so.
I do believe that it's, to a lot of people, music seems to be a superficial thing. To me, it was like a relative. You loved it that much, you know.
Well, that's the problem. If you've got it immediately, you know, a complete instant collection.
Yeah.
Then there's no, you don't need to sort of hold on to it or whatever. I don't know. I don't really get it. You know, I just don't get it. This is the way I am. Yeah. And I mean, in the years gone by, you know, when I was a kid, the things that people say, you're a hoarder for now, that was how people lived. We had stuff. I mean, I've gone a bit overboard having 4 record racks in my living room. But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
People, their personalities, who they were represented by what they had in their room.
That's
now,
true.
how are they represented? By a YouTube channel or something? I don't know.
Yeah, it's just, you see, to me, invisible doesn't work. Not for me. It is invisible. You know, you can watch any film you like. You're just
and not only that, Alan, later on in life when these people are old, what memories are they going to have? You know, remember when we looked at that Snapchat photo? I don't think so. You know what I mean? It's not going to work. Whereas the experiences we're talking about are tangible, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And it's even just, you mentioned posters, or I mentioned posters briefly. Posters when I was a kid were massive. Everybody went to a shop and bought quite often the same poster, whether it's a woman, a tennis player scratching her backside, or Lord of the Rings, but everybody had Che Guevara. Everybody had. There you go. Don't forget Che, Up the Revolution.
That's right.
Everybody had posters. I'd just love to hear what other people, if other people are passionate about either records or movies or posters.
They've got to be, surely.
There've got to be some about there, you'd have thought.
Yeah, you'd think so. I mean, especially at the moment, you know, we can't really, as you say, as we've said, we can't go anywhere, we can't do anything. So you have to rely upon your what would you call it? Your own entertainment.
Your stuff. This is why we decided to talk about our stuff today, because we're trapped with our stuff. So
I see.
I just hope people are using it. That's
on a serious note, Alan, I was going to call you Andy.
I'll answer to anything, mate. Don't worry.
Hello, Andy.
Hello.
On a serious note, what do you feel about these warnings about the future where they say everything will just be made accessible, you won't own anything, but you'll be happy? Because to me, that sounds like I've got to give up
what you've got, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
You don't have a house, you don't have a car, but you can make use of one. Nah. I mean,
what are we going to do, Alan? How are we going to fight this off? I'm going to have to try and... I mean, when that happens, I'll be an old man, I guess. But, I'm determined to say, hang on, no, I like this, I need this, and it works. That's the other thing I'm going to say, Alan. A lot of things have actually been distressed and gone, you know what I mean? Like CDs or DVDs that don't work anymore, or things don't... All my vinyl still works. I've got stuff going back to the 30s, the 40s, and I can open it, stick it on, and it works.
Absolutely.
How about that?
Yeah.
I'm passionate about it.
And so I'm glad I was feeding off it. Thank you very much for coming on, Dave. Great to hear from you, man.
Oh, I love you to bits. See
Thanks,
you soon.
man. Take care. Bye-bye. There's Dave in Exeter. Let a bit of your passion for your stuff. Let it out. I'm telling you, man. Who? 0191 488 3188. We're talking to Craig and Peter Lee very, very soon. What was the worst gift that you've ever been given?
Nah, gifts. It was me that gave it. I got it from the town shop, actually. And it was a Christmas present for me. Wow, I was only about 14, 15 at the time.
Yeah.
And it was a really cheap statue. I think it cost us £1 in the pound shop. Laurel and Hardy. She wasn't best pleased. Well, I was sitting talking to a friend, and I told him what happened. He said, well, it's the thought that counts. I said, well, tomorrow when you see me, man, do you fancy telling me that? I think if I'd have been a bit older, I think I might have ended up at A&E. And I think I would have needed I don't know what they're called, a rectologist?
Yes,
to remove
she would have shoved Laurel and Hardy where the sun doesn't shine.
To remove Laurel and Hardy from me.
I'm picturing Laurel's face coming out of your bottom saying, there's another fine mess I got myself in.
I tell you one thing, I hope they put the skinny, when it did happen, I hope she put the skinny one in first, you know what I mean? It did happen.
Excellent. So tell me about the worst gift, and do you keep them? Because usually you just hide them away, and if their friend comes that gave you them, where the hell did I put that teapot or whatever it was, and it goes out on the shelf. Tell me those stories. Meanwhile, this is Greatest Hits Radio Northeast. Alan Robson with you. And don't forget, Misha Paris back in the middle of the week with some more of her amazing soul tunes. They've been great. If you were listening to the show just before ours, amazing. Make sure you listen to that. But we get the stars. The stars come out at night on the Night Owls. We had somebody on just the other week talking about how Matt Goss had given her a call. Well, I spoke to Matt about having a gift.
My grandfather was a medium. My mother and my Granny Rampton was a Romany gypsy, and so I definitely have that psychic element in my life. I mean, all my mates call me a warlock. I have an uncanny ability to read people and know what's going down, and I think I'm not in any way embarrassed about it anymore. One of my good friends is a guy called Jonathan Edwards, the medium.
All right, yes.
Lisa
Crossing Over is
Williams,
his TV show over there, isn't it?
Crossing Over, yeah. And Lisa Williams is a good friend, and Harry T from... So all these mediums are good friends of mine, and I'm a very, very spiritual person, and I do believe that... there's a great book, actually, called Many Lives, Many Masters by Brian Weiss. I recommend you read it. It's about past life regression. It's a great... It's a great book, and it's a true story. It's about a cynic. He's a real cynic. He was into hypnotherapy, and he decided to do PLR on somebody, and the story is incredible. Read the book. It's called Many Lives, Many Masters.
No, I've been doing regressions, past life regressions for 20-odd years, and as soon as you realise that it's real, it can only be one of two things. You can either only be a real life, or alternatively, a real life of a member of your family that's been kind of sent the story down your genetic code. But either way, how amazing. I mean, how incredible it is. So, I mean, it changed your life, I guess.
I think in many ways it's been part of my life. I think in some ways when you're a singer, you say that and they think you're hokey. But now I'm like, I don't really care. Like, if you don't want to hear about my family, then don't come to my show. And a quick thing, probably too much, but one of the things that I realised that was proof of something bigger than us is a zebra. And I looked at it and I thought to myself, and I don't know if anyone's written about this, but it's just my own kind of philosophy. I feel like evolution and stuff like that is one thing, but everything is based on our environments. Now, a zebra is that colour, and it's because of the eyesight of a lion. Now, you tell me, because what it does, it breaks up the horizon of a zebra, right? Right. So the lion doesn't know whether to chase after the head or the tail. Now, you tell me, how did genetics somehow transfer from a zebra into the eyesight of a lion?
That's amazing.
When will I?
Stopping transmission. In sports, Liverpool are now within 4 points of the top of the Premier League. The champions climbed to third in the table with a second successive 3-1 victory, this time at West Ham. Leicester couldn't go second in losing by the same score at home to Leeds. Tottenham's poor top-flight form continued with a 1-0 defeat at Brighton. Boss Jose Mourinho says they're going through a tricky period.
Of course, now we are in a difficult moment. Results, injuries, and of course self-esteem. And a team with confidence is much better than a team suffering with sadness, let's say that.
Thomas Tuchel has his first win as Chelsea manager with a 2-0 victory over Burnley. From Sky News, I'm Annie Green.
Thanks, Annie. Alan Robson with you on Greatest Hits Radio Northeast. Thank you very much for that. I seem to have I upset somebody at least once a week, and tonight I've done it again. I've upset somebody because of my personal view on swinging. If couples get off by lending out your wife or lending out your husband and you borrowing next doors, that's up to you. Have a lovely time. It's just not my thing, okay? Whatever floats your boat. I'm judgmental. I'm judgmental about my partner being my partner, so I don't want to share. But if you do and you're happy doing that, to yourself be true. Don't wish to offend swingers. I've spoken to many of them on the show over the years. I'm going to give you 2 quick clues. As you know, we're giving away one of our Night Owl mugs, and I'm going to give you 4 clues, and you've got to tell me the name of somebody famous, a greatest hitster, and you've got to work it out from the links, okay? The first clue is this: the very first book in the Bible. That's your first clue. The very first book in the Bible. That is clue number 1. The second clue is this: an anti-apartheid campaigner who was thrown to his death from an upstairs room in Port Elizabeth prison in South Africa. Ooh, if you Google that, you'll find out who it is. An anti-apartheid campaigner thrown to his death from an upstairs room in Port Elizabeth prison in South Africa. Thrown out the window by some of the prison guards. 2 clues down, 2 more clues to come. Can you work out who we are looking for? 2 clues down, more to come. Now, Bob Day has said, loving the Grizzly Tales, Alan. I'm listening to them as I recover from a double jaw surgery. Glad that it's good for something. Thank you very much. Few people have also mentioned the book, Grizzly Tales from Northumbria. Thank you very much to anybody who's bothered. There's some great trips for you to go on as soon as we break free from our current entrapment. So, clues done. That's done. This has just come in from Jane Fleming. Does anyone believe that your pets can visit you when they've passed? Well, somebody else on the Owls asked exactly the same thing.
I could actually feel him jumping onto my bed, walking over my legs, and you know how dogs patter around in a circle before they get comfy?
Yes.
So I was laid in bed and saying, oh, Anthony, will you just pack it in and settle down? And after a couple of minutes, I opened my eyes and he wasn't there. So I thought, right, I might have had like a twinge in my legs, and I just wrote it off.
Right.
Anyway, it happened quite a few other times, and my dog wasn't there. And I thought, well, I used to have a King Charles Spaniel years ago, and obviously, you know, sadly he passed away. And then one night I was just laid in bed, and it happened again, and I said, Benji, is that you? And it started nuzzling at my leg even more. So I'm just wondering if, you know, ghosts of like your past dogs and things can actually visit you as well as, you know, human beings can visit you.
Well, the very last thing of that sort that I saw, this is true, was 3 weeks ago, out in the countryside. I saw a dog shape. I was staring at this dog shape, waiting for this dog to come through the bushes, and it never did. But it walked, it urinated against a tree, and it wasn't there. And I actually went looking for the dog, thinking, where's that dog gone? Now, can I be absolutely positive? No, it probably was a dog, and I probably just lost it in the green. That's very possible. But I looked real careful for that damn thing, and it was a playful, light brown, whippet-looking, small whippet. Anyway, what about ghost pets, and could there be anything else? We have mused.
When he was younger, well, I took him to a butterfly farm. I says, if anything ever happens to you, you'll come back as a butterfly.
Right, yeah.
And he says, no, Mum, I won't come back as a butterfly. I'll come back as a dog because you're totally treated and loved and everything like that.
Right.
My son died New Year's Day.
Oh, my goodness, what a time. How old was he?
19. His body was found actually today. Now, one of my good friends come to me with a dog. This dog needs a home. Now, this dog, he's got a butterfly patch on his side.
He's got a butterfly patch?
Uh-huh.
Wow. It sounds ridiculous. However, this is something that gives you, I'm sure, a little bit of warmth and a little bit of love. What other qualities have you noticed then?
Well, he's noisy. Yeah. And if I was to say my son's name to him, he just looks at us and gives a little howl.
Ah, sweet. Speak of the devil, absolutely.
He knows we're talking about him.
Yeah, he's there. And there's more and more.
She had a dog about last week that died.
Right.
And she can hear footsteps all around the house at night time. She thinks she's going crazy. Do you think there can be dog ghosts or not?
Yes, absolutely, 100%. I know people that have,
Really?
they've like had a cat, and then they can feel, after the cat dies, they can feel it touching their legs and walking past their legs.
She's so close to the dog as well.
There you go. And then a classic from someone we miss very much, Eleanor and Bernadette. What about their dog?
She was staying at the door. Staying at the door? And she growled because the door opened. There was nobody there, but the door clicked open. And I thought, oh.
And then her tail started to wag.
Yeah. So nothing as she
and
has.
then she went running over the door.
Right. So little Holly, the ghost of little Holly, is still heavily in the house.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
She's a big mess, but, well, she's not as yet, really, because,
still
as I
there.
say, we keep saying it. So we haven't really had time to miss her.
Yeah. So tell me your stories of pets that have died, but stay with you in spirit. 0191 488 3188. Craig is with us, and he's in Peterlee. Hello, Craig.
Hello, Alan.
Hello, mate. What can we do for you tonight?
Long time no speak.
Good to have you back. Thank you.
Sorry I've been missing for a year.
Well, I mean, we do lose people for even longer, but it's just great to have you back, man.
Well, it's not so great. 2 weeks ago, Alan, I lost my dad.
Oh, no. I'm so sorry. What happened?
Oh, well, he got COVID.
Right.
The dreaded COVID-19. And him and my mum contracted us both together. So my mum couldn't cope with my dad anymore. So it was Saturday. When did he pass away? It was the 18th. What's today's date? Yes, it was the 18th. He passed away.
How old was he?
66.
66. Oh, hell's bells.
So basically, he admitted himself into hospital on the Saturday, and we got a phone call on the Monday. My mum phoned and she says, Diane, Graham's very frail at the minute. Right, okay then. So about half an hour passes over. I know this sounds so weird the way I'm going to say this. I was busy making the dinner, making some dinner for my mum. I was making the mashed potato.
Right.
And then I got a sudden thump in my gut.
Right.
Now, a minute after that, my phone goes, Craig, can you come over home, please? You need to come over home. I says, what's up, ma'am? She says, come over home. Goes over home, and she breaks the news to us.
That he's gone. So what do you think that thump in the guts was?
Telling her, could be saying, Craig, I've gone, I'm away.
Right.
Let your mum know, I don't know. But it was like she had stood like a thump in my gut. You know, it was weird, a weird feeling, Alan.
Now, 66 is no kind of age. That's the light end of the the dangerous patch. But it's the light end. It's the end that most people say, you should be okay. But blimey, what a damn shame. Did he have any other conditions?
Yes, he only had about 65% of his heart working, Alan. He had COPD. My dad was my dad. He was, he was a man of the country.
Right.
And basically, I cannot thank his friends, because my dad was a bus driver. He drove at United, he drove at OK Travel, National Express, Northern.
Right.
And everywhere. Honestly, my dad is known all over the country. His name was Graham Mason.
Right.
So I don't know if anybody else knows him.
I'm sorry for your loss, man. It must have been the right head
It is.
trip.
I mean, we've got his funeral this Wednesday, but the reason I'm ringing up, I cannot thank the community of the bus drivers enough for what they're doing for helping me, like everything else. At the time, when my dad was bus driving, he lost his badge number.
Right.
And he always talked with his friends that you needed a new badge, this, that, and the other. But anyway, to cut a long story short, his friends have put in a kitty of money and have getting him a wreath made up with his badge number.
Oh, that's brilliant.
But also, another good thing, another one of his good friends has got a bus what my dad drove and restored. And he's bringing that to the funeral with the hearse and followers all the way to the crematorium on Wednesday.
That's great.
Honestly, I couldn't thank them enough for what they've done, Alan. Honestly.
Your dad would be made up of even the thought of that.
Oh, 100%. 100%. I mean, he's got his sons, he's got my mum, he's got his grandparents, you know. What else? You know, it hurt for the past couple of days. And yeah, we've got the hardest bit to come to, which is on Wednesday, and then we get the scatter his ashes on Thursday.
So do you know where?
Yes, we're going to Durham Cathedral with him on Wednesday. He's getting cremated there, and then we can scatter his ashes at Durham Cathedral.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Sorry, not Durham Cathedral. Sorry, Durham Crematorium. Sorry about that.
It's okay. But then every time you see an image of Durham, you'll think of Dad.
Oh, 100%. Durham's my favourite city, Alan.
Right.
No matter which way you look at it. I know, people have got Newcastle, people have got Sunderland, but Durham, in my eyes, is absolutely the best city in the northeast.
It's a bonny one. There's no question about it. Hey, I'm so sorry about you. How's your mum? How's your mum?
My mum, she's tearful. Yeah. She's not sleeping as much as what she should. We all not, but I haven't experienced this yet. Obviously, now I'm experienced it with my dad. The first few nights has been difficult. Then I got myself back to work, and then being back to work, and it started to settle my mind a little bit.
Right.
But when we settled Dad down, send him to rest on Wednesday, then we can start looking up over instead of looking down over.
Right, no, for sure. And also, I've found, after having lost mine, that, and it's a tough time for people to lose family, because a lot of people are at home with nothing else but to just sit and think.
Exactly.
And you've got to busy yourself to try and break free of it.
Yeah. I know I sound like I'm bleaching on here, but obviously I'm a taxi driver. I'm in the public sector of everything.
Yeah.
The people we pick up, yes, they're not wearing face masks. They're not doing this. They're not adhering to the laws. They're having COVID parties. They're going out, enjoying themselves, having a drink in somebody else's house. There's groups of them going out, young'uns. They just do not think for what's going on. I know I sound like I'm preaching to the preaching, but it's
No, right, I hear you, and that's one of the big stories in the press over the weekend. There's a massive party apparently on a boat up and down the Thames with disco lights, and you're thinking, and they thought they
Exactly.
weren't going to be noticed while everybody else is in the house.
Yeah, and look, what was that wedding party as well? What got busted? She had about 200 people there at the wedding or something. I can't remember. There was something on the news about it, but
absolutely.
I wish they'd just give the heads a shake, and this virus is around here. You know?
Yeah, for sure. Hey, I hope that goes well for you in the week.
Oh, no worries, matey, no bother.
I'm sure
Anyway,
it will.
I was RS14 now.
Right. You're 14 again. That's great. Hey, great to hear from you, Craig.
Yeah, you too.
Good
mate.
luck and love to the family. So sorry
Will
again.
do.
Man. Be
No,
strong.
no worries. Thank you very much. Take care.
Be strong, man. Bye-bye. Dear me. Awful. Awful. And yet, as we know, that neck of the woods, COPD and people with similar conditions, they've always been the ones most at risk. Right from the very beginning, I've been telling people that that's the place we should be looking after the most. And at last, it seems the government working from oldest, working backwards, but wouldn't have been able to have given Dad there an injection because he's suffering from COPD, and you've got to be careful mixing one drug and another. Dry January is officially over, okay? So I would imagine there'll be people lying around their house at the present moment, dribbling, completely intoxicated. But Dry January is over. They've had 18 minutes now to drink themselves senseless, and I would imagine some of them will be well and truly on their way. Let us crack on. We have Gary, who is in Wallsend. Hi, Gary. Hello, Gary.
Falling, really.
Oh, there he is. Hello, mate.
Yeah, I've been working at a hospital in Lincoln.
All right.
And it's really haunted. It's a mental hospital. It mixes in. Nick's tiny.
Right.
It's St. John's.
Uh-huh. Don't know it, but tell me. You've been in there on your own, have you?
Well, I've been doing a job. They're demolishing some bloke in Derbyshire somewhere. He's bought this hospital for £1 million, and he's doing it up. It's all Georgian. It's all Georgian sandstone and all that. You know what? Proper. You know, it's been left to decay. But there's a picture. Somebody took a picture, and there's a face. An actual window, but no one could be standing there because they took the floor out. The lads I was working for, they're demolishing it. There was no floor. They took the floor out the week before.
So how can somebody look out of the window? They'd have to be floating.
Yeah, and I just having a walk around as well because a mental hospital. It's all soundproofed as well.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there's tunnels under the floor, maintenance tunnels, a whole lot. People were there, unmarried wives, not wives, unmarried mothers
right.
were put in a mental hospital.
Yeah.
They were electrocuted, electrocuted and had their heads drilled, and it's all soundproofed. The sound, and they've got cells as well. They're all soundproofed as well.
Yeah, makes you wonder why would a property like that have cells, teeth?
It's got cells and all that, but it's all getting done up. I've took a picture. I took a picture, and I got a thingy. I got a picture on it. And also, it was one of the lads walking through, and then 2 seconds later, I seen a shadow follow him. And this is broad daylight.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I had a walk round as well, so it's quite an eye opener.
That's great. I mean, how long have you finished working there, or have you got to go back?
I might have to go back and put the steel work in and all that.
Right.
I'm just pulling levers on the cranes. I had 2 men in a man basket.
Right. No, it's just because when you change a building, it usually kicks stuff off, so it may well be quite busy for a while with all the new stuff being put into it.
Well, it's quite a big project actually. The lads were saying it was about 5 years for the scaffolders.
Gee.
That's their work. Wow. But
talk about £1 million quid. You'd need it if it's going to last that length.
Yeah, and I'm making luxury apartments out of them.
All right, I see. So they'll get their money back in a few years with that, likely.
Yeah.
That's
It was
great.
massive.
Hey, well,
Scary.
Thanks for telling me about it. It's the kind of place I would love to have a wander through, but we can't go anywhere these days.
There's been suicides in there a lot.
Right.
Yeah, and I think we've got a web page on it, St John's Hospital.
St John's in Lincoln. So worth a look, everybody, if you're interested in this kind of thing. Thanks for coming on, Gary. Thanks for tipping us the wing. Appreciate it.
And also, you know, when you're a kid looking for stuff.
Uh-huh.
Well, I can't remember this, but my auntie will. I was looking for sweets and chocolates and all that.
Right.
In one of my auntie's drawer, and I had a whole pack of laxatives. Yeah, all in it. And she followed the trail, dragged us in the house. Right, you're going to give us a clip. And my dad walked in, saved us.
I was going to say, mind you, I think you punished yourself with that one, I guess.
I think so, yeah. I was only a kid. All right, then.
Hey, that's
Thanks, Alan,
great
anyway.
stuff. Thanks for coming on. Gary in Wallsend. And, rampant diarrhea for about a week after that. We've got Andrew from Jesmond coming on with some poems, but we've got to take a quick break. And yon end of that... Oh, I beg your pardon. No, we don't have to take a quick break. I got my times wrong. So, well, let's go and get Andrew on immediately. Let's not keep him waiting a second longer than necessary. Hi, Andrew.
Hello.
Hello
Hi.
there. Hi. Good.
Hi. Yes. Well, you may remember every now and then I come on the show and try out a few new poems.
Yes, I do remember you very, very well.
Well, I mean, this last year's been great for anybody creative. I mean, who works at home.
Uh-huh.
You know, I've got quite a lot of new stuff. So can I try a couple of new ones?
Oh, of course you can.
The second one's more ambitious than the first one. The first one's just a little bit of fluff, really. But just to get going, it's called quite topical. I'm forever blowing social bubbles.
Right. Okay. Let's have it.
Managing my circle of friends was always hard. When lockdown came, it secretly brought some relief. It's easier to remember a birthday card than to know who and when you'll see throughout the week. I tend to meet Mary on Thursdays for a stroll. Peter's time slot was every other Tuesday night. You try your best to maintain at least some control, but when you add in Bill and Anne, it's quite a plight. When you are forced to put Joy before Julian, you feel like you're in the middle of a world war. These scenarios crop up again and again. Finally, you're beyond exhausted to the core. In lockdown, you couldn't see your friends, even Bruce. While there was still a threat of clashes on the phone, the dilemma was, for a while, greatly reduced. I found that it wasn't so bad being alone. But now that we are coming out the other side, mayhem is reigning from South Shields to the Azores. The rules are complex. Right now, you can see a friend as long as you rigorously stay out of doors. Ken doesn't fathom why you can't do Saturday. Sue just landed on my doorstep this afternoon. Oh, Lord, oh, heaven, there must be another way. Beam me up, Scotty. How's it going on the moon? So,
right, there you go.
That's, just...
I'm forever blowing social bubbles.
Well, yes, I was thinking of various bubble jokes, so that seemed to work.
Right.
Should I just launch into the other one?
Yes, what is it? What's that one called?
Well, this one's called the sequel. It's a bit more ambitious. It's set in Knott's Flats.
Right.
In Tynemouth, the flats which overlook the river.
The mouth of the Tyne, yes.
It's quite an atmospheric, sort of like edifice of building. Apparently, I heard that Hitler had the building put down for when he was going to take over Britain. That was going to be his northeast headquarters.
Right, I've not heard that before, but if it's true, it's amazing. Right.
So anyway, I'll do this poem. Actually, poems just go by very quickly. I mean, it's not that long. It sounds longer. It looks like it's going to be longer than it is. But even so, if you get sick, just say it. I can hear.
Right.
So I've got the phone to my ear for once.
Okay.
So it's called The Sequel.
Right.
Above the river, soar and rest, like cliffs of fall bearing their chest. The wind their only wedding guest, like some bold seer staunch in their quest. The blocks of flats we know as knots. And just along the coastal strand, as if plonked down by God's own hand, the love-fashioned Grand Hotel stands, lined with forget-me-nots. A mariner from past the seas, by winter's freeze brought to his knees, calls at the hotel pleading, please, although I can't afford your fees, for just this one night may I stay. The porter's name is Lancelot. He grimly retorts, you may not. Take your bag and that ocelot, and go from here away. Meanwhile, up in room 203, it may sound funny, but trust me, is living a distinguished lady. Who is it? Who could it be? It is the Lady of Shalott. She still is weaving night and day her magic web with colours gay, and in that space she means to stay, deep-rooted to the spot. A few more cold miles up the coast, a column rising like a ghost, a colossus of a lamppost, plays mother, confessor and host to many screaming guillemots. St. Mary's Lighthouse it is named. She stands like truth through wind and rain, watching us working through our pain. It's said she sees the lot. St. Mary sends an angel out, a spectral bird to fly about and be on the helpful lookout for any dejection or doubt among the players of our plot. By now the mariner has sailed into the river billow veiled, but so far he's hopelessly failed to find his native slot. The seagull hovers way above, fit for purpose like a white glove, and gives the sailor's ship a shove in the direction of true love, towards the flats we know as knots. While Lancelot and all the guests aren't getting any sleep or rest, you know who has become a pest, the Lady of Shalott. The loom she weaves at has a squeak, a periodic squawk and shriek. Her future's looking rather bleak. She'll be out on her ear next week, the so-called Lady of Shalott. We're about 2/3 of the way through. Do you want to stop
keep
there,
going and finish it off,
right.
of course.
Right. The sailor clambers up the hill, half dead with the night's brutal chill. Towards the flats he's climbing still, the flats we know as knots. As if in Transylvania, from one window an old man glares. He's been the one resident there for 56 or 7 years, in the broken flats known as knots. He leaps down like a kangaroo and sings, "I've been expecting you." The nonplussed Tsar says, "How do you do? My name is Captain Knot." I know the old man laughs and cries. A lifetime pain is in his eyes. The captain expresses surprise. The old man chants, "I tell no lies. This hoary edifice of flats belonged to you in the past life. I was your man, you were my wife. I've been here tootling on my fife, caressing the doormat." Around the corner, half a mile, the Lady of Shalott, meanwhile, has lost her customary smile. Her loom's in pieces in a pile. She's been put on the street to rot. Her mirror's cracked from side to side. The fracture is both deep and wide. The curse has come upon me, cried the Lady of Shall Not. In the flats, Knot and his new mate make plans to mend and renovate. The one snag they anticipate is lack of cash to pay for paint. The ocelot will have to go. Oh, I should have said long ago, the old man's proper name is Joe. The Lady of Shalott's is Flo, and she's got lots of dough. Just 2 more short verses. Flo's life is a tragic shipwreck. She's lost her cash point card and specs. Something somewhere will have to break. Joe finds her on the rocks and takes her to the flats we know as knots. They tell each other their sad tales, while outside rage the jealous gales, moaning like a priest past the pale, starting to lose the plot. The mariner begins to sing like 50 nightingales in spring. Be-do, be-do, be-ding-a-ling. It's time that someone asked the king, what is this life down here about? I never shot that albatross, though I did thump Jonathan Ross. He had made me exceeding cross, and now we're left to count the cost. What is this life about? Today Flo has the whole west wing. Nobody minds the loom's loud ping. The flats are all done up and trim. The locals have now nicknamed them the Rivertine's own Camelot. The girl reports back to the saint. No one's left with any complaint. Even the porter's got a date. Remember Lancelot?
Right, well, there you go. Wow.
It's a bit, I hope it wasn't too long. But
no, it wasn't. It was a nice expression of your art. So thank you very much, Andrew.
They go through quickly, poems, and that's absolutely brilliant. Thanks for the chance to try it out.
No problems. Glad you did. Thank you. There's Andrew in Jesmond with his poetry, talking about hoary edifices. I've seen a few of them in my time. Anyway, 01914 883188. Mind you, what I haven't seen a lot of, somebody came on and said, oh, so Alan doesn't do swinging, but you do dogging. No, I have not. I have never placed my testicles on a stranger's car. That's not my thing either, but there you go. Obviously, just purely someone who looks really like me. 01914 883188. Jill and Jane have sent a couple of messages. I feel hugely sorry for Jane at the present moment. She's just had to put her pet to sleep. I had to do that with one of my cats, and it was one of the most horrific things. And you just weep. It is an awful, awful thing. And they say you hold the animal as well while they do it, and you literally feel the thing that you love kind of just go. It's an awful, awful thing. Anyway, and love to Jill and telling tales of Reggie. Special, very special. But thank you for getting me in on all of that. Appreciate it. We are going to talk to Mark, then we're going to take a swift break and maybe hear another superstar in conversation. Mark's in Gateshead. Hi, Mark.
Oh, well, how are you doing, Alan? It's a long time I spoke to you. Just see how you're doing, really.
Well, I'm doing well. How are you?
I didn't know you were actually back on the air. I didn't realise till tonight.
Blimey, where have you been, man? Who?
Last time I spoke to you was 2015 when I was working in the Fire Bridges Hotel. That's the last time I spoke to you.
Yes, I remember the call.
But you said you were a DJ, apparently. Is that right?
I was. I've worked there a few times, definitely.
Aye. That's all it was. Where are you based now, Alan? Where are you working from?
Well, same place.
All right.
Different station, but I'm here every Sunday, so happy days.
Brilliant.
For now. But who knows what the future has in store. Hopefully we'll get a few more nights. But thank you very much for coming back to us. What are you up to?
Well, I'm doing my carpet cleaning still. I'm bits of carpet. I've been busy with the carpet cleaning and that stuff like that.
Right. Are you getting much? Because I'm presuming most people are a bit scared to have you in the house.
But I've been doing a lot of fogging, like fogging properties out and things, like with the mist and that.
Right. I was
been doing
anything
you jobs.
Anything you can get, man. That's what it's about now, isn't it? That's
it's a different world now, Alan, isn't it?
Just scary. But hopefully, we were told earlier today that you can expect everything to be free and back to normal. Within
my dad got his vaccine last week, and he's fine, no problem.
He's all right. That's good news. So he'll get his second one, and he'll be safe and sound, hopefully. Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. Anyway, it's good to hear from you, Alan. Anyway, that's all it was. It's a quick one.
Okay, hey, good to hear from you all the same. Thanks again, man.
Right,
Take
all
care.
The best, Alan. All the best, mate.
Bye-bye. Oh, that's nice. Just found me. Just want to make sure we're all right. And we are. Champy thing. Very good indeed. Couple of other quick things that have just come in. Let me share with you. This one is from DJ Trig. He says, Alan, loving this show. Can you give a big shout out to my partner, Rebecca? And he has a true story for you. When I was a teenager, a friend of mine used to have a naughty magazine collection. Not necessary now, you've got porn on the telly, what I mean. He used to go looking for new magazines in car laybys and bushes. And I know it's hard to believe, but that is actually where you find these things. So sometimes the magazines were damp, so he used to take toilet roll from his parents' airing cupboard and stick the toilet paper in between the pages of the mucky magazines to dry them. His collection grew. However, one day his mother noticed the toilet rolls were disappearing rather fast. She told him not to use as much paper when he's going to the toilet. It always makes me laugh when I think about this. All the best, mate, DJ Trig, and his friend, who I would imagine has probably a few sight issues. Charlotte needs a bit of help. She says, I've been on air, but I want to know what's the best way to take your mind off bad things. Doing good things. Doing good things will always take your mind off bad things, in my experience. Mark, oh yeah, have I got to get you on 5 nights a week again? Aye, wait, blame me, I hope so. We need you more in these times. Every day is like one big loop, repeating and repeating. He says, but enough doom and gloom. I've created a little game for myself. It's called washing. I constantly try to wash and dry everything before it all piles up again, but it's impossible because you're always wearing something that has to be washed. He's discovered a washer, and that's what he's going to. And also, Kaylee wants to say hi to Helen McCullough, and she says, you're not a Geordie unless you've listened to Alan. There you go. Or a Mackham, or a Smoggy, or a Pit Yacker, or a Sand Dancer, or a Border Reaver, or any of them. There you go. So you know. And that's it, pretty much, of the emails. Thank you for all of them. I'm going to play you a piece of music after we've heard from 10cc's Graham Gouldman. Pretty much the only area we hadn't seen 10cc sway into was reggae, and of course Dreadlock Holiday was a monster hit.
Yeah, that was our last big hit in '78, I think it was. Yeah.
Now I know probably every 2 days people will be saying, "Well, get the band back together and do this." Did it do what you wanted of it? And
No. I'm very, it was very upsetting when Kevin and Lol left, and Kevin and I have remained friends and often talked about how we should have handled it. But when you're younger and lots of pressure and things, that doesn't always happen.
Sure.
But, it is a shame. Of course, it's a shame.
I mean, so in the middle of the 90s, you get back together again.
Yeah, briefly, yeah.
And did it have legs?
No, it had no legs.
Right.
No, it wasn't. It was like, it was. I think the phrase "flogging a dead horse" is probably.
Right. Oh, that's a shame. And of course, you can tell that almost immediately, and there's a vibe about it, isn't there, when you do things?
I can hear it. I can't listen to that sort of post.
What was wrong with it? I mean, was it just people got together just for the sake of doing that rather than wanting to?
It's a like misguided optimism that everything was going to be fine.
This is Real Life Conversation with the voice of the North.
This is Night Owls with Alan Robson.
Call 0191 488 3188.
Greatest Hits Radio.
Now, I'm going to give you an early clue because I was late with the last two. So I'm going to give you an early third clue to get your little grey cells mooching about. The first clue, we're looking for a famous greatest hits star. Okay, we're looking for a star. The first clue, the very first book of the Bible. I know a lot of people think the Bible is a book. It's a number of books. The very first book of the Bible. What's it called? Second clue, an anti-apartheid campaigner thrown to his death from an upstairs room in Port Elizabeth prison in South Africa. Third clue, the site of an Iron Age fort near Batheaston in Somerset. I said this one's a tricky little sucker. The third clue, the site of an Iron Age fort near Batheaston in Somerset. So you have 3 clues now. The fourth clue could give it to you. The first clue hints. And the other 2, once you get the answers, you will know exactly who this is. That's if you've Googled Iron Age fort near Batheaston. You probably get the answer that way, if you seek to. You might need to. That's the thought. A lot of other emails coming in as well. Barry is Bonnie Scott now. He says, "Hi Alan, just a quick hello. I've just found you after many years away. I'm listening to you from a very chilly Dunfermline in Scotland. Moved here 10 years ago after leaving sunny Wallsend behind, and I'm really missing the Dixon Savoy and Peace Pudding Dip Sarnies. Oh, and Night Owls, of course. Such a waste for you to be on Sundays only. I hope they get you back on 5 days a week. I certainly will be tuning in on Sundays from now on. Keep up the good work, Barry in Dunfermline. Thanks for being with us. And love to the wearers of the kilt. And also, Fee has been on. I used to listen to Night Owls every night when I was a teenager. I stopped when I moved away for uni. So happy I've rediscovered you now. Takes me right back to my room at my mum's, which is kind of a comfort that I need at the moment. Thank you. Fee, good to have you there, darling. And it's all a question of gathering of the owl clans. That's what it's all about, and we're glad to be of service. Thank you for the honour of your company. Let's get back. Oh, hang on a second. There's a moose loose in the hoose. Jackie from Stockton seems to have that predicament. Hello, Jackie.
Hi.
Hello. So, where is he? Where's he at this precise moment?
Well, the mouse or the dog?
No, the mouse.
Oh, the mouse. We don't have the mouse in here now. That was a couple of years ago.
Oh, that's all right. And so what happened? Tell us the tale.
Well, when I moved in before I got the dog, the house hadn't been remodernised.
Right.
So I had like a gas fire hanging off the wall with no fireplace, or
Oh, blimey.
and there was a hole where the boiler pipe was going through.
Uh-huh.
And then a mouse kept jumping in and out of it.
Right.
And I came in one day, and it must have seen me and ran up the curtains in the front room.
Oh, blimey, right.
Because I was listening to the lady earlier, you know, saying that she'd locked a mouse in the bedroom, which she obviously can't do.
That's right.
So I didn't know what to do. So he started running on the because the bay window is like a big windowsill. It's like you can get your Christmas tree on it.
Right.
Well, I always put my Christmas tree on it. So I got the yellow pages and hit it with the yellow pages, and I thought, oh, I've got it. You know, it's dead now.
Right.
Till it started moving again, and then it ran up the curtain, and I couldn't get it at the curtain.
Right.
And I was going to use the yellow pages again, but I couldn't reach it.
Right.
It was down on the curtain.
Uh-huh.
So anyways, I didn't get rid of it because I couldn't catch the thing. So then it started running in and out the fire through the hole.
Right.
So I thought, there's more than one mouse here, you know. One's ran up the curtain, there's one coming out of the fire. What's going on?
Right.
Then I realised there's an outside vent that goes from the living room to outside.
Oh, blimey. So it's a direct way in and out.
And the kids, like they do, pulled off the protection cover to stop the mice from getting in. So I got a Jack Russell after that because I like Jack Russells.
Right.
And I've always liked Jack Russells. My first dog was a Jack Russell.
Right.
And she was brown and white. And she was a brilliant dog, you know. I could take her out, you know what I mean, without the lead. Oh, come on, you know, let's do this. It was brilliant. Brilliant temperament. If you were out and he shouted rabbit, that was it. The dog was off.
All right. So what was she like? What was she like in the house with the mice, though?
Well, that was my childhood dog. The other dog that chased the mouse is a boy dog.
Right.
That's my girl, Jack Russell. That's what I'm saying. I've always liked Jack Russell. So I got a Jack Russell.
Right.
So I also know what they're like for catching mice and birds. And so I knew, like, that the Jack Russell would probably catch the mice.
Right. And did it?
Well, yeah. He caught two, actually.
Right.
I mean, one of them, he was in his bed and we seen a mouse going across the floor, you know, because when they're half asleep. And they wake up down there and they shoot the head up and they're like, where's that? And they clocked on it straight away the same time as you are, basically. So you can't do now.
Right.
Anyways, he just, like, looked at it, you know, and put his head back down and this mouse was running under the cabinet, and he woke up again because he'd seen it moving again because it stopped the first time.
Right.
And then he ran under the cabinet. You know those corner cabinets that you get? And he has them little gaps underneath. So they just to know whether it is to use it for.
Yeah.
And I can't get into there, my hands or anything at all. You know, it's really small. And it ran under there. And the dog ran after it, and he sat down, and he was looking at the cabinet, and I thought, oh, God, he'll get the mouse. He's seen it go under there.
Yeah.
So he was looking, and then he laid down, and we didn't take much notice because we thought, that mouse ain't coming out from that cabinet till that dog moves, basically.
Yeah.
So we were waiting. Anyways, the dog seemed to be, like, totally relaxed. You know, he laid down and everything. Went to bed. Boyfriend Steve wakes me up. Do you know what the dog's done? I went, no, I don't. I said, what's it done? I said, did it weed up something? Because it was a boy dog.
Yeah.
And every now and then they go in the kitchen door and they weed up something to where the back door is.
Just like the male partner. That's exactly the same. Just the dishes aren't in the sink. I know. I've seen it.
Don't get me on about peeing where you shouldn't with men, because I've got plenty of stories for that. Anyways, I was like, is it weed? Someone else going, no. I said, well, what's it done? He said, we'll have to come and have a look. So I got downstairs, and there is a massive hole in the carpet. right the way through to the underlay, which was the deer underlay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I was like, what's going on? You know what I mean? You could see the floorboards.
Right.
And like he'd got him in the back garden, before he showed me. Because he knew I'd go, bad dog, you know?
Yeah.
Bad dog, get out. Well, really, he wasn't being bad because he was trying to catch the mouse.
I see. Right.
Well, the thing is, we had the carpet a few days. Right? And my boyfriend had actually cleaned all the mess up before he showed it to me.
Right, but I bet when he first saw it, he'd be mortified.
The hole was massive. If you know what I mean?
Right.
If you could put two oranges together and make a circle.
Right.
That's how big it was. Well, I was a bit fuming. You're going to be, aren't you?
It's a
You
big
know what I
hole,
mean?
absolutely, yeah.
I did tell him he was a bad dog, but he didn't get into trouble or anything. He just didn't get a treat for doing it.
But did he end up catching the mice, though? You mentioned that...
Well, yeah, he did it, yeah. He caught another mouse after that, yeah.
Right.
What happened was the mouse that was under the cabinet didn't get out, did it? So we had to pull the cabinet out
Right.
to look behind the cabinet to see if the mouse was still there.
Right, and was it?
And my boyfriend was going, you'll have to pull it out, Jackie, do you know what I mean? We'll have to look behind and everything.
Right.
And he said, I'll pull it out for you, and sort it out. Well, I was in the kitchen, wasn't I? Because, I don't mind them when they're running. It's when they're dead, you know what I mean? I don't like going anywhere near them.
Right.
Now, so he went behind the cabinet, and obviously the mouse was dead, yeah?
Right.
And he was cleaning up. Obviously, we got the dog in the garden at this stage.
Yeah.
And I looked in the door. I'm not joking. If there was any other time, I could have not looked through that door, and that was it. I opened the door. I was going, have you got the mouse? Well, he had hold of it by the tail, dead, with rubber gloves on, swinging it around, putting it into a bag.
Right.
And that's why I told him to do it. So I seen everything anyway. And I'm not really that frightened of them. I just don't like them when they're dead. And when you see them swinging around by the tail, you know what I mean? And
Yeah, but on top of it, what they don't tell you is that a mouse, when it runs across the carpet, it doesn't have any control of its bladder or its poo, so it's weeing and pooing the whole way that it's running. That's why you want them out your house.
That's right, exactly. That's right.
That's for sure.
So he obviously caught another one.
Right.
Another one, after that.
Right, good. Well done, Dirk.
He ran across the living room. He come in the vent and ran across the living room because that's where the vent is.
Right.
And
you put the lid back on the vent, did you, after that, to stop any more coming through?
I had to ring repairmen to get it sorted out.
Fixed, right.
But he did kill another one. It was trying to run under the front door, under the front room door out into the hallway.
Right, but he got it.
There's no hallway, it's just the front door there.
Right.
And he killed it before it got under the door. So, of course, I was by myself. I don't like them dead.
Yeah.
So I'm ringing people up. The dog's killed a mouse. I can't open the front room door. I don't want to move it.
Right.
I'm like, we'll come round later this afternoon, you know what I mean? And get a fish light and that. So if I get a fish light for that, I'd never eat fish again, you know what I mean?
No.
So I managed, it wasn't right up against the door. So I managed to open the door, really slowly.
Yeah.
Just to get the mouse out of the way. And knocked it next to us and got them to get it for me.
Brilliant. Hey, well done, Jackie. Thank you for your mouse story. Appreciate you ringing in. Thanks for calling.
All right. Just before I go, it's my birthday today.
Hey!
It's 12 o'clock.
Happy birthday. That's lovely.
And we've got another dog now called Alfie, and he's a Shih Tzu, but I don't think he'll chase the mice because I don't kill him.
He's not the size, is he? But thank you very much, Jackie. Great to hear from you. There's Jackie in Stockton upon the Tees. Oh, blimey, I'm just starting to play a tune. I don't think I've got time to actually play it before we take a very quick break. Oh, but you know what's coming now? Kind of giving the game away.
hospital with coronavirus. The war veteran, who raised more than £32 million for the NHS, is getting help with his breathing. He's been receiving treatment for pneumonia for some time and therefore hasn't had the COVID-19 vaccine. Speaking on his 100th birthday in April, he urged people to remain positive in difficult times.
Please do remember that things will get better. The sun will shine and we'll never walk alone. And truly, I believe that to be true.
The coronavirus vaccine has been offered to residents at every eligible care home in England. Official figures will be released later, showing the injections been administered at more than 10,000 assisted living facilities. Experts say children could miss out on around £40,000 in their lifetime because of setbacks in education during lockdown. The Institute for Fiscal Studies says a lack of in-person learning will have consequences in the long term. In sport, 2 goals from Mo Salah helped Liverpool climb to third in the Premier League with a 3-1 victory at West Ham. Leicester missed a chance to go second and losing by the same score to Leeds. Thomas Tuchel has his first win as Chelsea manager after beating Burnley 2-0. One of his tactical changes saw a recall for Marcos Alonso. The defender was on the score sheet and Tuchel is delighted his decision paid.
That he could score the second goal, which finished the game, and it's not easy after such a long time, but he did very well.
In the late game, Brighton had a 1-0 victory over Tottenham. From Sky News, I'm Annie Green.
Thanks, Annie. And we had a go at playing this before, and then I realised I was running out of time. So, dum, dum, dum. You know all the words, you might as well sing it, and we will definitely be annoying your neighbours, especially if your name's John, because we've already had that complaint. Anyway, bear with us. There you go. Classic. Greatest hit on Greatest Hits Radio. Of course, what else would you expect? Come on. Now, you already have 3 clues. In about 15 to 20 minutes, you'll get your 4th clue. Clue 1, the very first book in the Bible. Write the name of that down. Second clue, even if you have to Google away. Doesn't hurt. An anti-apartheid campaigner thrown to his death from an upstairs room in Port Elizabeth prison in South Africa. Third clue, the site of an Iron Age fort near Bath Easton in Somerset. Site of an Iron Age fort near Bath Easton in Somerset. You got 3 clues down. 1 final clue. Let's see how clever you really are. It's a tricky little rascal. See how you do. Anyway, let's get talking to people. We have Dave, who's in Sunderland. Hello, Dave.
Hi, Alan.
Hello, mate. How you doing?
Not bad, Alan. Not
Good.
bad at all.
What you been up to?
I've just been getting some more DVDs, Alan.
All right. Oh, like what?
I've been getting some 70s programmes like Chips.
Chips? Oh, yeah, the California Highway Patrol.
Yeah, I've been getting that.
Right.
And I've got the new series of Magnum PIs.
Oh, Magnum. The soundtrack. Oh, I don't even know whether I've got that anywhere. But I thought the soundtrack to that series, it was by a guy called Mike Post. And he did a lot of those big cop shows round about that time. And what a... Well, hang on a second. I think I've... Oh, yes, I have. Bear with me and I'll just rattle a tiny bit of tune in your direction. What a song. And he had a moustache. And he got all the women, because I suppose if you've got a Ferrari, you wouldn't you, I suppose?
Tom Selleck, wasn't it?
Tom Selleck, the very man, yes.
Brilliant.
Oh, so that's good. Chips and Magnum. That's.
And I've been getting something else as well, a TV series from years ago called Falcon Crest.
Falcon Crest. It was kind of like a spin-off, I think, from either Dallas or Dynasty, one or the other. But yeah, that was about posh Americans living on a posy estate. Yeah, that was a classic in its time, definitely.
Can I tell you something else as well, Alan?
Always.
A few years ago, quite a few years ago, I had a couple of mice in the bathroom because we've got a downstairs toilet.
Right.
And we had a parrot. And we used to keep the parrot mix in the bathroom and that.
You used to keep the parrot?
the pallet mix in the bathroom, the bird seed in the bathroom.
Oh, right. So that'll have the mice head.
Yeah.
That's buffet to them, isn't it?
My mum was in hospital at the time.
Right.
And I went in the bathroom one night and there was a mouse run across the floor.
Oh, yeah,
so I picked the bag of pallet mix up and I hit the mouse with the pallet mix and I killed that mouse.
Right.
And then I saw another mouse come out and I stamped on that one, killed that mouse and just put them straight in the bin.
You're a beast. You're a beast when it comes. So did you fill the holes up? Because that's what you need to do.
Yeah, my mate filled the holes up, yeah.
Ah, that's good. Because the very first, I had a similar experience to you. We used to have in the old house in Benwell where we used to live when I was a kid, we had this little cupboard with a mirror in it, and it was where everybody went to comb their hair. It was the mirror where women put their makeup on, and my dad would comb his hair. So I started, when I was growing my hair, I started going in there and combing my hair, because it seemed to be the place where everybody else did it. And while I was in there one day with bare feet, this mouse ran across both my feet.
Uh-huh.
And you do that involuntary girly...
Yeah, you do.
I think I was about 7 or 8-year-old at the time.
Uh-huh.
And as soon as I mentioned that, my dad had everything. Pull the cupboard out, pull the clothes out, pull all the bags and all the rubbish that you keep under the stairs. You had to get to the bottom of it. And
you did, didn't you? Uh-huh.
Yeah, because you can't leave them running around.
You cannot. I hate them. I don't like them at all.
Yeah, not nice at all. Unless they're invited. Absolutely.
I've been getting some CDs as well, Alan.
Oh, like what?
I've just bought the greatest hits of the Animals.
Oh, blimey! Just on the weekend that Hilton Valentine passed as well.
Yeah. Do you like the Animals at all?
The Animals were one of the bands that made Northern music what it is. That's why so many people like rock up here. Started with the Animals.
I did get another one a few weeks back, Ian Jury and the Blockheads.
Oh, brilliant.
But I'm unsure about a couple of the songs what's on the CD, Alan.
Why? Because they're a bit rude.
It's got a one called Poo Poo in the Prawn.
Ian Jury does a few songs that are very, very rude and uses a lot of bad words. There's a couple of... But I love him. And I think I always thought that Ian Jury was brilliant. He does a song, and forgive the word that I'm about to say, but he does a song called They're In Half Being Some Clever Bastards. And it's just funny, witty, clever. And a lot of people think that, people use bad language just for the sake of it. He never does, but he uses it cleverly in songs. So, no, I've always had a lot of time for Ian Jury. There's a greatest hits. There's a greatest hits triple CD out in a lot of the supermarkets for a 4, 5, 6 quid.
At first I was going to get rid of his CD, but I think I'll keep it.
Right. No, I'm a big fan of all that kind of stuff.
It's brilliant, isn't it?
Yeah, why not? Why not? And I know it's very easy to use technology and constantly pay people to hear music, but if you own it, you don't have to pay for it, if you know what I mean, because you already have. But no, I'm glad you're keeping yourself busy, and you're well, and your family's good.
Yeah.
Well, that's as good as it can get at the minute.
I am going to mention something to my doctor. I think I might as well, Alan.
About what?
I've got a bad back every day.
All right. Are you just lying around too much?
I am, I think so, yeah.
Because the thing is, I know a lot of people that have said, hey, I'm having a few back problems at present. And it's because everybody's just sitting there staring at tellies.
Yeah,
I mean, that's the fact. And I bet you do that thing where you say, I think I'll just go to bed in the bedroom and have a lie down and watch the telly. So you're not moving. You need to do a bit of exercise every day. It's probably enough to shake it off. But if you're in the same position and you're doing nought, your body's doing nothing except just going to ruin. You got to try and get a bit of exercise. And to be honest, even if you just take a walk somewhere for 20 minutes, half an hour, as long as you do it every day, rain, hail or snow, make sure you get up and do something. Because if you do lie there, you'll just freeze up and get a stiff back. And hey, life's too short for that, my lord.
It is.
It is.
Are you keeping all right, Alan?
I'm champion, man. Thank you very much. I'm doing all right. So thank you very much, Dave. Stay well. Take care, mate. Bye-bye. Yeah, I think a lot of people have been just sitting on their duff. I'm going to play you a couple of other clips of the kind of things I want you ringing in about. Like, what's the best thing you've ever bought from, like, a car boot sale or maybe a jumble sale? My parents used to buy stuff at car booties and jumble sales for any birthdays, every Christmas. I made a point of opening them the day before, so it didn't spoil my day, because it was always something like used stainless steel coffee set that still had the coffee in it, and you're going all with dents in and stuff. You know, the stuff that you chuck out because it's got a dent in.
Yeah, well, this was in the car boot pile for a reason.
Oh dear. Well, you just got to bring it out when she arrives, and then when she's gone,
I said any presents for the grandkids are going to stay at grandparents.
So what kind of things did you get? And what's the weirdest thing you've ended up buying, and how did that come about? You just happened to be checking eBay for glass eyes.
I checked them for silly things like false limbs and false teeth and all that, Alan. And one night,
Right.
I was flicking through right on the page, and I got up off the bed and accidentally pressed buy now, and it said return to like 7 times.
So have you got 3 eyes, Susan?
Alan, I've got no use for a glass eye.
Well, there you go. And we've kind of stumbled upon this a couple of times. Let's stumble on another one.
Helping my mum pack up her bedroom, lifted a mattress up. There's this great big black vibrator.
Oh, dear.
I used to try to describe it as a back massager.
Yes. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Oh, it was just different. He's probably lying down too much. Everybody needs a foot-long black vibrator, apparently. I tell you something else that we've discussed. I'd love somebody to come on. Maybe if you've got one of these.
There was a music on, there was a pool room, and there was a blink darts, and you had a little bar, you know, with the coolers, the beer,
wow,
the wine. You had a big counter. You had about 4 or 5 settees.
What a size it must have been. I'm thinking, how big can a shed be? Blimey, that's like a house.
Bigger than downstairs in my house, put that way.
The ultimate man cave. There you go. Anyway, let's crack on. Let us talk to... Oh, hang on a second. It's DJ John. Hello, John.
Hi, Alan. How are you? Keeping okay, mate?
I'm okay. Good to hear from you. What you got for us tonight, then?
Well, Alan, I've got a little song at the end for you with the greatest hits radio in the intro as well.
Oh, okay.
Because Chris says how you got a song when I first phoned up.
Right.
What did the 5 televisions say at a wedding?
I don't know.
Not a bad reception.
Hey, very good. Hang on, I've got to give you a kathunk for that. There you go.
What do you call a farmer with lots of ducks?
What do you call it? A farmer with lots of ducks? I don't know.
Quackers.
Hey, nice one.
A man says to his friend digging the gold, "Where is Australia?" He kept digging. He kept digging the garden. His mate says, "Down under."
Hey, that's a good one too. There you go.
Did you hear about the cleaner won the lottery? I haven't seen enough of dust.
Hey! Oh, that's all good tonight. Well done.
Yeah. A Dulux dog was standing near a painted wall. I said it looked cold. He said it's got 2 coats on.
Oh, there's another one. Brilliant.
Got a couple more, Alan, for you.
Uh-huh.
What's the definition of beans on toast?
3 skinheads on a raft.
Alan, you know that one?
Hey! About time I got one. Right.
A man goes to the doctors. He feels like a pair of curtains. He says, "Pull yourself together."
Oh, damn.
2 men go to the Greyhound Stadium. The man says, we are giving out wigs. He turned around and he says, "We've got 2 baldy heads." DJ John went on the mic. He says, "The hair's on the move."
The hair's on the move.
So I've got your little song to finish up.
Go on then.
Okay.
Yep.
Hey, DJ John, you were on Britain's Got Talent, dancing for the Geordies in Newcastle. DJ John listens to the late night morning with Alan Robson on Greatest Hits Radio. 01914883188. Your Greatest Hits Radio station.
That's brilliant. DJ John has got a lovely neighbour. Sorry for waking you up. Thanks for calling.
Thank you very much, Alan.
Cheers, mate. Bye-bye. Wasn't kidding. 0191 488 3188. There you go. And we have more coming your way. Quick piece of music first. And the fourth clue is coming up within the next 10 minutes. Love this band. Another greatest hit from level 42.
Driving along, and anyway, I thought...
No, I've done it again. Should have pressed that one.